Hello, hello, hello. See if this is actually working, if YouTube's telling me no, no, or if it's a fake no. I think it was a YouTube fake no. Hopefully, we'll see. There we go. YouTube should be up and running, hopefully. Took me a little bit. Let's go. Hello, BK. Break can only stay 1 hour. Going out for a pint and a bite in about 1 hour. Well, I won't be streaming too long today. Probably around. Can hear you loud and clear. Can see my screen. Thank you. I'm probably not going to be streaming too long today myself. I have basically not gotten any kind of good sleep. So I was afraid that if I waited any longer before I started streaming today, I'd probably fall asleep and there'd be no stream. So stream for an hour, maybe 2.5 here. Then I'm going to try and get a power nap done. But yeah, we are going to continue the Qualify adventure. And I think I fixed the issues that we had with powertrain components. Kind of similar to what I sorted last time around. And in this case, for those of you who remember last time, we had an issue with negative thermal resistance and negative fuel efficiency. Now that has been fixed. So we should be seeing a little bit more durability on our components, and we should be seeing a little bit better usage of fuel, which could make things a little bit interesting for the couple of races we're going to be doing today. Always good to have a steady sleep schedule. Yeah, in my case, I have a need that kept me up all night, so I did not have any choice. I was planning to sleep, but I was denied. Unfortunately. Yeah. Sorry for the abrupt, I'm streaming now rather than when promised. But I think you'll forgive me. Hopefully. I was also tempting to try and dual stream to Twitch 2 today. But I thought that we might not risk that. That would be a little bit too scary, potentially. Let me know if there's anything wrong with the setup today. I would appreciate that. And let's see what we can do here. Hello, Impa. Nice to see you. Yeah. Today, you're going to go to Japan. And this is basically when I believe both we and the AI, for that matter, is going to be seeing some of our first upgrades. We did actually get the underflow upgrade last time, but I forgot to put it on the car because I am insanely talented in forgetting those, nice little things that could benefit us. Let's put it like that. Extremely talented in just completely ignoring that those are a thing. We're going to be rushing a suspension and a... honestly, this suspension is... This one is kind of yikes. Don't want to use that one if we can avoid it. Probably need to make one more suspension design before that one is actually useful. Let's see what we can do. I don't remember exactly what rules I was running last time around, but I'm pretty sure it was something along the lines of I run medium lifespan to keep myself somewhat similar to the AI. I think we're going to continue running that today. Also gets in. Hello, Rodders. Hello, Opal Bay. My new video is very helpful. I felt like that one wasn't too good because I couldn't figure out a proper way to word expertise gain without getting too technical and mathy, which is kind of painful. But yeah, I think we are going to go ahead and make one more suspension here. Probably another one before we actually start using them. Other than that, getting started on a rear wing probably not be the worst idea I've ever had. And even this, it's not really going to benefit us much. That's the problem. So we're going to have to run a couple of blueprints here, a couple of designs, just to get our expertise back into a positive number. Because again, I boosted every car, so every car is the same right now. For the most part, the only thing that separates us in the AI and basically some of the other teams is just the RF's effectiveness. Other than that, for this save, Every single team is exactly the same. The only thing is a little bit of a difference in DRS effectiveness. Everyone's staff members and drivers are the same as well. So yeah, things are getting a little bit interesting. And I'm just going to give myself a little bit of mercy here early on. And we're going to turn the race difficulty down to standard. And see if we maybe perform a little bit better in quality. Because we are suffering because of the fact that we actually have the worst DRS of everyone. But yeah, if we find that just turning down standard turns it too easy again, I'll turn it up. But it's just so that I can have a little bit of mental peace of mind here. Because as I said, I'm sleepy, but I would like to play this game a little bit. So Hamilton has actually improved. That's not great. I set the improvement level here to 50, and apparently that was not low enough. But it should create a little bit of a variance with AI, so it's not bad. It's very acceptable, actually. Go hard or go home? Well, I'll go home for Japan, and then we'll probably go back hard, DK. Because as I mentioned, I'm just... I guess the best way to describe my current state is just mentally tired more so than anything else. That is a bit of a problem. Go ahead and cancel you guys out because the standard strategy has specialized days, and that's a bit of an issue. I think we're going to put in a little bit more gym time. Get those pit stops, or rather keep those pit stops low and nice. Currently I'm doing 50-50. I'm not intending to, it's just a delay when I'm clicking. Which is not a good thing. But I think this is acceptable. Put in a couple of gym sessions here. Take a break here for one of those days. Still going to be in the tired area, which I don't recommend, but it should be fine going into next month. Can I rate your definitively realistic calendar for 27? What exactly do you mean? What happens when you unretire a driver? They stop being hidden in the system. And you can hire them. Some drivers do seem to kind of crash the game though, so be warned. We had one issue where we added the saves earlier to mess around. And in that case, we unretired a driver. He crashed the game, is what we believe. We retired him, and that solved the issue. So there is some weird stuff going on when you unretire. Excuse me. It might just be better to edit a lower rated driver to kind of recreate a say an old legend if that's what you're going for. In my case here, we have some factory race days, and honestly, they're just the best for getting engagement. So we're going to go ahead and take those. We take those. Facility-wise, I probably should keep on upgrading, because we have apparently stopped. That's not a good thing. Let's get a little bit more upgrading going. Better to do a sim test or a seasonal standard, and then do the exact same on hard. What is the difference between most modes? So to be fair, there is probably enough randomness that you'd have to do not just one sim on standard and hard. You probably need to do 10, 20 of each to see any sort of pattern. But I think also the race sim is simplified enough when you sim races that difficulty is probably not going to matter much.
Konnichiwa from the Suzuka circuit.
Just wondering about affiliates in FP1. I've noticed they lack the experience thing from 22. So do they even get a boost from it anymore? It's only mentality that gains. They do get an experience boost from running FP1, but there is an issue. Well, there is kind of an issue where sometimes you can't run them in FP1, and generally that is due to the fact that they're running an F2 or F3 race. So if you can't run affiliates in FP1, it's generally because they're busy with their own race weekend. Of course, we have Behrman as a real life example that got yoinked up and had to do a race, but that really isn't implemented in the game. So if they're busy with their own weekend, they're not going to do FP1. But it should still be a little bit of an experience boost. Hello, the wolves. Nice to see you here. Appreciate it. Was very enjoyable watching your stream yesterday while I was struggling to fall asleep. I enjoyed it greatly. I'm hoping to see more of it later today if you continue if you continue the pain train, so to speak. Yeah, we are just going to simulate a qualifying because I'm lazy. Then we'll take a look. No, I really appreciate Wolves. It was entertaining to watch. Far more entertaining than anything that I put on. So you should be proud of that, honestly. I might be playing this game a little bit too seriously at times. Okay, let's see what we can do here in terms of the setups. I think we're getting a pretty easy one here, potentially. Okay. I'm not going to hit that one because never mind. I see what I'm doing wrong. Like so. That looks very much acceptable. Can probably tweak this a little bit more, but 90-ish and I'm happy. We could also try and switch engines here to get a little bit more of an advantage over the AI. But I'm happy with running it like this. Let's see if we can actually qualify or get into Q3 this time with both cars. I think we still have yet to do that. Wish that possible in the game. So we'll give you a reason to have reserve drives. Yeah, honestly, right now in the game, they've basically just taken the reserve driver role, renamed it to affiliates and giving you 10 of them. There's no point in having a reserve driver because they never are gonna get a reason to run a race. Each their own, buddy. Learn a lot from you. Taking the time to test things, so thank you. Yeah, no worries. I have my own fun doing testing, to be fair. But I am happy that those videos are helpful. Do we have any bets there for Wally this time around? It's going to be a dry quali, but I think we're going to have a wet weekend. Should make things kind of spicy. Let's see, switch it over to sector view. So identical-ish from Verstappen and Hamilton. We'll have to see if Floof shows up in time to witness his Colapinto. And also, of course, Ocon and Gasly. They're still running identical lap times there, basically. Hamilton is slightly quicker.
So, eyes on dash.
And Hamilton, yeah, just slightly quicker.
Call the car, box.
3 purples. I think that could be good. Alonso out in Q1. Don't summon the Alpine simp. To be fair, though, he's great entertainment for us. We need more Alpine fans. There's so few of them. They're an endangered species. Let's be honest. Question is now, if we actually did a good enough job here, because I'm seeing greens, but I'm not seeing any purples so far. Tsunoda got very close though. Let's be honest. Alonso in Q1 might very well come true here. It's currently their worst time. Oh, Colapinto. Why must you sadden Floof so? Again, I don't know why Stroll is once again turning up in an equal performance save. It's insane. He's a great guy and always good to talk to. Talk to myself now. I do all my sessions on 2 times because I am very impatient, Keith. In this case, it's just quali, so it doesn't really matter much. But I definitely should get better at turning it down to 1x or even 4x when nothing is happening. But generally, it's just impatient. We can allow things to happen in the background while I'm having a look at chat. So 2x works great for that. One ass with a purple sector. That's scary. Hulkenberg with a purple second sector, so it's getting quicker. So what's the MO here? All cars the same. Everything is equalized. I can't even pronounce your name, Wolves. Wolves? Wolves? I can't properly pronounce your name, and I don't exactly know what would be a good one for that. The MO is very simple, the fact that I've equalized everything that I could. Every car has the same engines, every car has the same parts for the most part. The RS is the only outlier because I couldn't edit that. Driver stats are completely equal, facilities are completely equal. They were all given the exact same budget, with the exception of us having a 50 million less. They started with 50, we started with 2. And staff has also been equalized across the board as well. So, for all intents and purposes, right now, every team is as identical as possible. And I want to see if there's any variance in how they do research, in how they do design, and also if we can get some more fun racing doing things like this. So, there's a few things that we're doing with this, honestly, that could make it very, very fun. Waltz was taken, so it's fine if I call you Waltz then. That second W and my need to pronounce people's name for the most part correctly is killing me. It's murder for Norwegian potato English. Why don't I go 16 times when my driver's doing outlast? Because it's very easy to miss something if I look to my second monitor, Keith. That's really the only reason. So if I look away now, then suddenly everything is done. But yeah, and Piastri is actually out. Colapinto is once again lost. Again, the Alpine curse is strong. Gasly is out. Ocon is 7th, so it's not all bad. You got it correct? You did, in fact. Alonso is out in Q1. Yeah, I can imagine. Let's see, we're gonna run the same tires. Okay, the AI has been drunk. Clearly, they've sent back 6. No, they sent back 5 softs. And a hard. 5. What? The AI doing practice is something that never ceases to amaze me. For Verstappen, they've used 5 softs and a hard. For Hamilton, they've used 5 softs and a medium, which basically tells me that they only sent the car out for P1. No, it was because it was wet. Okay, that makes more sense. That's just me being annoying. Or rather annoyed, rather than annoying. But yeah, the fact that you can't choose which tires the AI sends back, it's something that is frustrating. I would really love it if they added something to change that, because now we are definitely going to have to do something with mediums and hards during the race. If we can get through Q2, we might be good. But yeah, that's a problem right there, that they've gone ahead and shipped back basically every soft tire that we have. That is not a good thing, honestly. But yeah, let us just speed up here so we can actually start the quali round. I guess that is fine. Then we'll see what Hamilton can do here. Yes, everything is equal, Impa. Do I have better mentality than the AI? At this point, I actually don't know, because we are still getting kind of beaten pretty roughly. At this point, probably, but for the first 3 races, probably not. Yeah, I would agree, so I guess that would be a nice change. I especially when I dominate. To be fair, Simming when you're dominating is fine. What are we looking like here? So, show has a 30.8. I really should have downloaded the better graphics mod and tried that out today, I think. But I wasn't sure if the stream would tolerate it, so I haven't done that yet. So my Mercedes is doing well.
Negative on the dashboard.
That's a little bit rare. Show on the
Okay, cool the tyres and we will-
Frontier Schumacher 4.
Okay.
Big gap between Hamilton and Verstappen again. Not what we'd like to see. I would love for both of my cars to make it through this without needing to use a fresh soft. That would be amazing. In your latest video, you mentioned we can only lose expertise through regulations. When I'm designing a car part, some of the sliders are showing red. Isn't that considered as losing expertise? No. Basically, your sliders are only moving... Basically, you can look at it like the sliders aren't actually taking away expertise. They are having an effect on the expertise you gain by designing that part or doing research. But you are never losing expertise from moving sliders. The best way I can describe it is that by moving your sliders, you end up with, say, a red. You lose performance in one part by turning a slide to minimum. You're basically loaning expertise from that and giving it something else in your part. You're never losing expertise when you do that. You're just redistributing where you want your performance focus to lie, if you will. So you're not losing performance by... Or rather, you're not losing expertise by moving sliders. Regulation change is the only thing that can take expertise from you, so don't worry. Do we send Verstappen out for a manual run? Try and keep him safe? I think we can do a manual run here where we actually get him in time to do a fresh run if he needs to. It's a little bit scuffed to do it on 80% tires, which is going to be 75 by the time we get started on this lap. But I think it's a gamble that we are going to have to take here. But doing it manually, you can save so much time on outlaps. So with this, we should be able to send him out once more if we need to. Okay, let's see what we can do here. So we have a RB coming up from behind. Go full deploy and we'll watch this from the driver's point of view. Make YouTube shorts when I do mods, as people love that stuff. I'm planning on making it like mods for F1 Manager video at one point. But I'm going to try the mods out myself first, so that might be a while. Wasn't there for the first stream, but just curious, why did I do all 80 rated as compared to 90 or 100? Well, basically, I wanted to see also how big of an effect mentality and confidence has, so I need to have a little bit of wiggle room. And 80 gives us that wiggle room. It also ensures that no driver is perfect. We can still have incidents. That's kind of why I settled on 80 rather than anything else, and also because of the fact that it's also due to the mentality. If we made our drivers 100, they would have a negative mentality from the get-go. The player would have no problem managing that, but the AI probably would have a harder time. There's nothing inherently deep about choosing 80 over 90 or 100. I just thought it was a better shelf, basically picking the lowest rated, if you will, F1 drivers as our starting point. Okay, so Verstappen is not improving. And we might actually run out of fuel here because I got distracted. Because he is heading to garage. Are you not heading to garage? Nope, you ran out of fuel. I messed up. That is sad. I think it would be cool if they had a feature when sometimes the main driver might have to miss a race. Yeah. Like, it would be nice to have something similar to that. But right now, again, the reserve driver hasn't really had any point other than just being, you know, talent feed for the last couple of games. Well, we're gonna have an interesting one with Verstappen here. I think Hamilton should be safe, maybe. So we'll pray. At this point, Verstappen became one of the main hardest main bosses. Yeah. Actual red flag? No, actually, the worst red flag I've ever done, because that is just straight up me looking a little bit too long to my right and allowing Verstappen to do a full extra lap while pushing when I'm because I'm trying to explain something without looking at my screen. That's 100% my fault. No one else's. That is also a great start to this stream. Kind of what you should be expecting from me at this point. We're going to have to use a fresh soft tire. As much as I hate it, I love having 2 fresh softs for the race itself. But in this case, at least, we're not going to be able to... we're not going to be given the privilege, if you will. Norris is actually doing his first lap on used tires. Same for Hulk, Schumacher. So we might have a little bit of an advantage already. So sick of seeing Verstappen winning that even in the game I had to nerf him. I watch all of your videos and still don't understand research. Use always tunnel and CFD or not when researching. So research works like this. Basically, if you have a regulation change where you get, say, -10 to everything, the lower your expertise is, which is what research actually affects, the quicker it goes up. And the second your regulation change comes through, that has already happened for research. So that just means research is more efficient at getting expertise because, well, generally, it will be lower. It will have a lower expertise than your current, if you will, because at the end of the year, you're going to lose some from the regulation changes, but for the research that has already happened. Now, in terms of using CFD and wind tunnel for research, it is generally more efficient to do it like that, yes, because you have more... Your sliders are more powerful when you do research than when you do design. That's probably the best way to put it. So just do as much research as you can, and you will have no problems beating the AI. That's generally just how it is. What has Schumacher done? He's locked up and picked up damage. And Hamilton has definitely been impeded. Maybe twice.
Stay tight on that delta.
Yeah, this is already a pretty bad one here. 1.8 seconds behind. Not as bad as Schumacher, but still, that's not great. Odd camera angle, it's the new helicam. Basically, it's trying to simulate a helicopter following your car. We have the standard, like, race cam angle. We have the driver's camera. We have rowing. Bunch of different ones, really, but this is like the new one for this game. Not Paris. Well, Paris is currently about to hunt down one show. Oh, Paris did get violated there with how much he got held up. At least we're not the only one suffering, but he did end up getting held up less than we did. Question now is just, do we send out the car immediately when it is still kind of free reign here with all the cars on track, or do we wait till the end? I think we wait till the end here and see what we can do. 8th is not great, though. Let's be perfectly honest. I would love to improve that at least a couple of positions up. Start research in plus minus half a season. Generally, summer break. If you haven't started research by summer break, you should start then, and you should be fine. Okay, I got once again a little bit too distracted, and we probably aren't gonna make it now. Yeah, I need to play at 1x when I do this. Clearly. Can we make it? I think we lost too much time there, but we'll see.
Pack's looking good.
Understood.
Yeah, we definitely lost too much time. No way we make this in 30 seconds. If we do, then Hamilton's a goat. Well, he's already a goat, but, you know, mega goat. Gonna lose out by about 10 seconds, but that's because I, again, just screwed myself. See, BK, I need the handicap today. Do I focus my research on the areas where the parts are strong? Yeah, there's nothing wrong with focusing on the strong suits for parts, like medium cornering for your rear wing, and things like that. That's perfectly fine. There's nothing inherently wrong about that. You're gonna get bigger gains by focusing on the things that the parts are strong at. So yeah, I would recommend that. But I think the game is playable for the casual player. Yes. As long as you don't min-max, you should be fine. You might need to limit yourself in the 2026 season. Or rather 25 season on research. But it's definitely playable for the casual player at the moment. Okay. Verstappen has 2 fresh softs. This is not how I wanted to have 2 fresh softs. Let's just have that absolutely clear and on the table. But it is what it is. I think we need to push the mediums here. Get in early, try and do some undercutting. Because that seems to be the most powerful strategy of, that we have available to us at the moment. We might try something a little bit more silly with Hamilton. Because we don't have access to 2 soft tires, so... him too we're going to try and undercut with, but we're going to do it a little bit differently. And I don't know if this strategy is actually going to be faster than anything else we're doing at the moment. Let's check. It's going to be beneficial for Verstappen as well. I don't think it's going to be beneficial, but looks like I might be wrong. It's going to be slightly quicker. Nope, it's going to be slightly slower. So, soft tire, supremacy. But yeah, we're going to try this. We're going to try and make our way back up the grid order. And I'm curious how the changes we did to fuel now is going to affect us, because we're definitely carrying way less fuel than we were earlier. So I'm curious how the AI is going to handle this now. Remember, in the previous stream we had a negative 100% fuel efficiency. Now it's just straight up back to 100, as if we were running a Renault engine with the power of a Red Bull. So it's going to get interesting. Let's see if I can actually improve and get a podium for once. Get a little bit my honor back.
The anticipation is... The drivers are warmed up. They're ready to go.
Wish there was personality traits like FM, which introduce how the driver is rated. I would love that, yeah.
Lights out, and away we go.
I am having a double bottle fest, in fact. You're not wrong.
Just down your normal line.
Yeah.
And Hamilton's about to get potentially cooked here by Magnussen, which is also not great. What are you doing, Stroll?
He just got me off.
Yeah, that's what...
Yeah, I saw that.
I don't know if I agree with that statement, but okay. I don't think he intended to cut you off. That is a very, very slow Stroll. What has he done? Revving looks fine. He has just straight up DNFs right there. On the track. We have an immediate safety car.
Same start of clock. We will need recharge on.
I want to see what happens with Stroll there.
Okay.
Try to keep your brake application constant.
It just says he retired, but where did he pick up the damage? I don't think I missed it. Co-op would be great, yeah. I agree. Is there a setting that shows tire deg and which compound respective to the circuit? Not really. Like what you're looking for there with tire deg respective to the circuit. The closer you're going to get to that is to go into your pre-race reports and take a look at compound performance, and you're going to have to kind of manually do the calculations. In this case here, I can do it very easily for you. If we take soft to medium, it's about a 5/10 difference on an average lap. Degradation difference is 300, so we take those 5/10 and we split them on the 300s, and we end up with basically 16, 17, 18 laps or so of soft advantage over the medium. That's basically how you're going to have to do it. And again, the math here isn't too difficult. We just take the difference between two tires and the difference between the degradations. That kind of gives you an idea of how long one tire is going to be more, rather stronger than the other. And this is also kind of why I end up running a lot of soft tires light or even conserve. It's because generally they have a very high pace advantage to begin with. And if you maintain that pace advantage by running light or conserve, you can stretch that advantage way further, even if you're running light, even if you're losing some time by running light, by just keeping your soft tire alive for much longer, while the AI will, particularly at the start of races, just completely burn through the tires immediately. So there is some things you can mess around there. Box. No, thank you. How's my sidebar extended? Extended UI mod, yes, BK says. Engine or gear failure. I don't think that is it, though. I think we can see it because Stroll didn't finish a lap, but he has to have crashed into someone. Because at the start of the race, he has no failures whatsoever, and then he just suddenly collapses. Unfortunately, I think he started far enough ahead of us that we didn't really see what happened. But yeah, he was definitely too far out. If it was a PU failure, that's an explosive failure. I don't think he ran out of fuel. That would be straight up impossible as well. He had 85 kilograms of fuel, similar to us. But yeah, if he had a fatal PU failure from no fault within the first 3 laps, that would be actually kind of impressive, honestly. I've never seen that in the game. When will I be dropping the next episode of Alpine Save? Either tonight or tomorrow. I'll have to see. I'll have to see how much energy I have, and if the power nap turns into a longer nap. Why don't I set 16x until safety car's done? Basically because I'm catching up with chat. I want to read everything, so I'm catching up. I'm allowing safety car to kind of run its course. I understand it's a little bit boring, but it ensures that I don't make any more mistakes like I did during quali while having a look at the chat on my side. But yeah, I don't know what happened to Stroll, so if anyone want to check the VAR, I would appreciate that. Show is running P1, yes. You're not wrong about that. Now also, under safety car, you can actually leave these on, and it won't have really any effect on your tires or in your temps for the most part. Safety car has ended. Can we continue climbing? Because we're up into points now for both cars. I am worried though, because Magnussen is the only soft runner ahead of us, so that should give us a great chance of actually getting the undercut done though, I'll be honest. So it's not a bad thing. How's the old Majestic Vista? If it's me, then I'm good. Just tired. But I'm fine. How are you doing, Tekka? A Hollywood Animal playthrough? My snickering ass would love that game. I've never heard of that one, so I'll have to take a look after the stream. Should my drivers win all races have the best stats? No. For this one, Keith, I'm actually edited so every driver has the same stats. Like, Show is 80 rated, Hamilton's 80 rated, Verstappen's 80 rated. Kind of picked this pairing because they're well known, for one, and also because, well, I hope to get more voice lines out of them by having them in my team. But a prerequisite for getting more chatter is literally running the game at 1x. So, yeah, that kind of backfired on me. Ocon is falling backwards. Gasly is still last. next to Culp. How did Gasly end up lost now? Yellow flag, Leclerc, and Show. Second safety car.
And there's been quite
That
a
is
crash.
Japan in a nutshell, though.
Now we should be able to take a look here. Down at the hairpin, dangerously close to each other.
So the safety car's out. I keep bringing every setting down.
On the car, it's quite clear.
I'm not gonna guarantee that you don't really save like half a percentage point of your tires by doing that with the course safety car. But personally, I don't see any real difference because you are very limited on what you can do with your tires, with your fuel, with everything by the safety car pace, which is way lower than anything you would do on conserve, anything you would do on anything really.
Here we are then at the 11th corner.
So if we take a look now at we can turn one car down and we can actually compare it right now,
Thankfully, after
see the differences if there are any. So we'll turn Hamilton fully down,
Let's just not cook the tyres.
and I can imagine that he might cover a little bit more ERS because he's no longer on deploy orders. But we'll see over the course of the safety car how they look by the end of it. Yes, everything has been equalized, Keith. Engines, drivers, staff. They're actually pitting? Honestly, this might still work to our advantage then. I'm fine with staying out with this. It's 85%. Gasly, masterpiece here. To be fair, if we pitted, we'd be stuck behind each other, so yeah, I'm fine with this. Okay, safety car is ending here, and as you can see, this was a pretty short safety car, I'll be honest. But in terms of turning cars down, they are basically equal in stats here. Equal in vert, equal in temp, 1 degree less on the engine, but both of them running conserve anyway, so that doesn't really matter. And if we take a look here at energy, that too is basically the same. So you don't need to switch it anymore. I think that was true for 23 as well. It's nice to do so, just to kind of remind yourself, but there's no need. Upgrade, change fabric engine, change power, fuel efficiency, durability, DRS gearboxes. You can do that with the editor. Yeah, it's redundant in this year's game, I'd say. Honestly, can we now pull away from hard-running Norris back there? Because he did not pit, and if we could pull away from him, that would actually be kind of amazing. We still need to manage our energy a little bit, so for now, I think we can go back to neutral. As long as we can stay with Hulkenberg now, get DRS, we can basically league race it at this point. Hamilton might need a little bit of extra push here because he's defending against Russell. Just getting a little bit of time doing that. Just not a good thing at all. DRS has been enabled. We're almost leaving Russell behind even. If we can create a gap here, huge. If we can't, sad. And it looks like I'm going to be sad.
Maybe more.
If we had recharged the ERS before this happened, then yeah, we would be very, very happy. And Hulkenberg and Russell are both still pushing, so no wonder that there is a difference here.
Good time management.
We're going to have to use a little bit more energy here just to make sure that Verstappen...
Okay.
Basically, I'm going to screw over one of my drivers here. Either we secure Verstappen into the DRS with Hulk, or we leave Hamilton behind. It's a lose-lose at the moment. Extended UI mode, Sengen. You're gonna have to edit your saves here in Hell if you want to change your engines, how they work. There's no in-game capacity to do that. Yeah, this is kind of what I was worried about with Hamilton. You get him getting left behind. But we can use Russell to kind of leapfrog back and forth. That still wouldn't be a bad thing. And again, we're going to be getting these tires back towards the end anyways. With the DRS train, it's going to be difficult to overtake for the AI. The other day I had left mouse click not working? That sounds weird. Alpine is bad team because we always have bad engine. Well, in this case, everyone has the same engine, so that is not really having an effect as Russell overtakes his old teammate. Yeah, I'm actually pretty happy with us just running where we are at the moment. Of course, we are using energy, but we've saved so much from those two safety cars, it's not really a problem. Well, tire wear more like it. And just the different gear ratios. I guess that is true. I don't know if that is modeled in the game though. Rans, do you know? Verstappen gets back in the lead, but now we actually have a DRS train, and it's actually Gasly and Paris we're leaving behind. And this is actually pretty good for us.
Shouldn't be too long, Max.
I'll be perfectly honest. Like, Paris down to Magnussen in 19th is basically just one big DRS train. And as long as Norris and Paris are slowing each other down with the hard tires, I'm fine with taking Russell and Hulkenberg along for the ride. Science has picked up a mechanical fault, and I think we're going to be seeing a lot of them in the future. It's looking good. Yeah, I hope everyone's doing well today. Probably a little bit late to say that, but hope you had a better sleep than I did. And I hope that we're going to have some fun with this. Hamilton and Russell getting left behind. Not on my bingo card. With the Verstappen Hulk getaway. To be fair though, we could see a Hulk podium this race. He is in a good position for that. He too is pushing. That's the thing here. He is pushing just as much as we are. So Hulk is not taking this easy at the moment. Now, when we pit, we are going to come out dead last. There's just no way around that. And that I'm actually very happy with, because everyone else is going to have to pit at some point too. And if we catch up to the back of the grid by the time they start pitting, we're in the money. Do you think we'll get another patch this week? I assume you mean this coming week. I don't know. We haven't heard anything. So, took 2 weeks for last patch, so could very well take 2 weeks for this next one as well. I think at this point, though, we are kind of settled in peacefully, if you will. So I'm going to speed things up a little bit. Because the next thing, something interesting going to happen is basically once we do our pit stops, even though Verstappen is actually pushing now away from Hulk. Hulk has started saving his tires a little bit. I think he's turned down to aggressive. Gasly, Paris Norris gap is still pretty much the same. So yeah, pace is basically unchanged. Track position is gonna matter a ton here, I think. Currently, that is the advantage that we hold. The only question I have to ask myself is, are we going to have any other DNFs before the end of this? And now we even have Hulkenberg part of this Hamilton train. I think at this point we just have Hamilton top up behind them. Because no matter what we do, it's just going to be a lot of back and forth, which is going to ruin the confidence even more. And Gasly and Paris are now part of this train as well. I think we actually get Verstappen in here because he's going to be a lot quicker on those soft tires. It's a little bit early still, just judging from where everyone else's tires are. So maybe we stay out a couple more laps. Get a little bit more advantage for those soft tires. I love Alpine, but I can't win champions on hard difficult because they always have bad engine. It's going to take a couple of seasons at the very least, BK, I would think. You can actually see Russell here now, pulling the trigger. That means we're gonna actually have to respond if we want to stay ahead of him and stay with him. Science fault has actually evolved. What is the fault?
No hydraulics, I think.
Is that the gearbox then? Take a look in a second. But yeah, I think we are gonna get. Like Verstappen can actually run a couple extra laps here. But I think we just get him first. Hamilton's going to lose out a little bit by staying out longer, but it's going to be for the best. And I think we can already kind of see Russell being a bit quicker here. So, yeah, getting Verstappen in, getting him onto fresh tires would be good. We'll do him first, we'll do Hamilton after. The interval here is kind of double stack territory, but it also comes with the risk that if we double stack and fail, that's going to be a very, very sad, sad time. And also, I think it might be best to... Honestly, we have another medium tire, so Hamilton might need a little bit of a tactical change here. I'm not used to having two medium tires, so I didn't even consider that as part of the strategy. But just doing this, we're already a lot quicker. And we would be pitting here. This is viable then. Medium to medium. Might want to do the soft tires here just because it would allow us to run longer. Also, of course, the fact that we are giving up the only mid-range option we have with only one soft left. But it leaves us vulnerable if there's a safety car. I think the gamble of double stacking here is worth it. So we shall gamble.
I'm in.
Question now is, can Verstappen beat Russell out? And can Hamilton? Are we going to screw over Hamilton here by having a bad pit stop for Verstappen? Let's see what the survey says. That's clean. That is clean. That's what we like to see. Russell is currently flying down the main straight.
Be all clear on exit.
It's going to get Hamilton, but Verstappen is clear. That did work out for us. Now it's just catch up to the back of the rest here. Honestly, though, again, I think we pulled the trigger a little bit too soon. It could have been better to stay out 2 more laps. Just have the rest wear down their tires more. Because we're going to catch up to this train before too long, and then we're going to have to make our way through it. So, honestly, staying out probably would have been better in hindsight, but hindsight's 2020. Let's see how this goes. We're also very, very vulnerable now if there's a red flag.
Yeah, I'll put 2.3 now.
Is it worth making car parts intensively? What does it give? So you pay 3 times the cost for 1.5 times the gain. So if you can afford it within cost cap, running intense is a good thing. But again, it's a 3-time cost for 1.5 times the gain. So I'd probably prioritize building, you know, spending that money on buildings before I do upgrades until I kind of get into a... Until I get the upgrades that I want for my buildings and stuff. It's doing intense design benefit research. So any of this, like the science works the same way as research does, but to put it this way, when you make a design, you gain expertise, but that expertise is immediately added to your current expertise. So if there's a regulation change, and you say you're losing 30% of your, say, high-speed cornering expertise, if you do any designs that work with high-speed cornering, that is going to affect your current high-speed expertise. But as a result, you're going to be losing 30% of that gain because of the regulation change. Whereas if you did research instead, you would actually be gaining a lot more expertise and you wouldn't be having any losses from doing the research itself. So intense doesn't really benefit research, it benefits your expertise in a similar way that research does, but research is still the best option for increasing your expertise level and thus increasing the performance of your car. If that makes sense. Yeah, that was beautiful stuff, but as I mentioned here, we probably are going to be in trouble now. We're running 32.7s, which is a full second quicker than Hulk. Yeah, we're going to catch up to the back of the rest here. We are actually running full attack. That is also a problem. Oh, the strategy planner went a couple laps too far, so it didn't auto adjust. I gotten too used to that. I screwed myself. But yeah, this is kind of what I was afraid of, that we would end up at the back of the order here. What we could have done that would probably benefit us more is actually going to a hard tire and then just run a conserve, or even run a conserve soft now from behind. But yeah, staying out for a few more laps definitely would have been more beneficial. Piastri has
Turn 2.
parked.
So just watch out for any debris here. Yes.
What happened? That is McLaren on McLaren violence. Oh. Is Norris okay? Because that's Piastri. Norris went to the Shadow Realm. Okay, his tires got shook a little bit, so he is going to be very unhappy about the current situation. Can you get scouts back on all saves? I don't know, Joe. I haven't found a way to kind of fix that issue, unfortunately. Wi-Fi mods, overtake GG. It's a good one. But yeah, this is kind of what I was concerned about again. Just us getting stuck behind other cars here because we catch up to them too soon. And that is genuinely a problem right now. We are faster, but because it's just one huge DRS train, it's not really helping us in any way, shape, or form. We can use energy on, say, the main straight to get something done. But ERS energy is very valuable and hard to recover, so not necessarily the best move that we have in our arsenal. I think we might need to go high overtake direction, and Verstappen being peak confidence already, that should be fine.
Full concentration, anything can
Ghastly P2 Floof would love this. Hello Sharif, how are you doing? Ghastly P3 the second it was mentioned. I think we're just gonna keep on running Topper for the time being. And see what we can do. I think for Hamilton too, we might need to run conserve. Because the undercut is strong, it's just that we have ended up in the wrong side of the undercut, if you will.
straight into management.
Okay.
Still think we can make this work. Do something very, very cheeky. Yeah, this is definitely not what you'd want in this situation, where you have now joined the DRS train. For Hamilton, I think it's fine. Again, if we can just burn up these tires going to softs, that would benefit him. So he's still fine. For Verstappen, it's a little bit more of a different issue, if you will. There needs to be a way to disqualify, perhaps innovation research event too. Yeah, this is a mod called Extended UI. See if we can give Verstappen a little bit of extra oomph here now to get past Magnussen. Hulkenberg is now pitting. But yeah. We're going to have to give him a little bit more oomph than we're currently giving him to get past, I think. Which is unfortunate because we don't really have much more oomph to give. But yeah. Mistake was definitely made here. Should have stayed out longer. Should have gone full conserve. Lesson learned for future. So I gotta run. Food, football, and beer calling. Have a good day. BK, enjoy your football and beer. I am slightly jealous, I'll admit. Despite everyone would say about it, Asta doesn't have any staff above 67. Damn. Yeah, we have top Lewis up pretty much here. I think we might also... Did you just get taken out by your teammate? Was Russell involved in that? Seems like it's Russell, not Hamilton, luckily. Happy Russell noises. Okay, at least that's better than getting taken out by your teammate. And I would assume this is suspension. No, it's actually from wing. I think we could try and do something even cheekier at this point. And that is that we pit Verstappen, we switch to front wing out, we put him on a hard tire full push. And see if we can catch back to some of the other cars there before they start pitting. It's going to be a rough one, though, to do that, so I don't know if that's actually going to work out for us. Aside of that, I would put him on a medium, but I think we just put him on a hard, full attack. Then we go soft tire till the end after that. It's either that or we run the hard all the way to the end, which also is viable. But I'm a fan of more stops. More stops, more fun. We do something like this, what's the difference? This is about 6 seconds slower. And again, the problem is, again, we're going to have to make our way through the pack if we do this. That's the biggest negative of doing this strategy. Also just give us up in the wing. But with the hard push, this should be fine. You can also run balanced fuel. Same for Hamilton. Honestly, so far the equal performance save has been a grand performance in terms of bottling it. From my side. Yeah, I think this is the best option that we have. Norris actually coming inside longest. Gasly's pitting. Norris should come out ahead of us. No, he served the penalty, so we're actually good. Leclerc also has a penalty for next race. Question is now, can we close down this gap before the top team start pitting? I would say no. But we will at least be behind them by the time we do our second pit stop. So it's not all bad. Hamilton is still doing his best here, trying to kind of survive up here. Well, that could have been an amazing double send. He's back up into the points. The other teams are starting to do their the stops here. Albon is first out. No way Verstappen's going to catch him. No longer peak confidence. Lost that immediately. That's going to be fun. And honestly, at this point, we just need to speed things up a little bit, I think. Hamilton should be able to clear Colapinto now. These. And I want to see exactly what kind of pace Verstappen has here. That's because that's going to be important. Colapinto actually just jumps into the pits. Gasly was fastest lap. Bluefin Shambles 31.6. That's not good enough. I'll be perfectly honest. That is not good enough. That's good enough to catch up to these guys. But we're going to need 10 laps to get within their pit windows. So I think the goal here for this hard is just going to be catch up to the back of the grid. Use the superior tire till the end. And hopefully get back in the points. That was actually a nice overtake there on Albon's. Very important that we got that done immediately. I think for Hamilton here now, actually clearing Magnussen and Schumacher is kind of important. So let's use a little bit of energy. That's still not enough here. The RS train's being very, very powerful again this year, particularly around here. We still have energy though, we can still keep on pushing. And I think also we'll give Hamilton the high overtake aggression orders at this point. Give him more likely that we get our way by. Science is still going to be an absolute wildcard, and I've just remembered that I forgot to check the damage. It is gearbox. That's going to keep him slow for the rest of the race. No luck for Hamilton in getting the move made. One of them gets steps out of the way. Schumacher up next. No way we're beating Magnussen or any one of these guys. Yellow flag again. Paris with a running wide moment.
You can take a look now. Here we are down at turn
Am I
6.
interested in doing my own mods for the game?
They go, leaving the racing line.
Not really. If anything, I would like the most modding that I would do is just make different save game premises rather different save game starts, because I don't have the know-how to make mods for this game, Tekka. I'll be honest. I'll be perfectly honest there. Hamilton again, just staying out long is going to benefit him more, so we're going to do just that. For Verstappen now, we have ended up kind of where we didn't want to be, in a stuck behind other cars in the DRS train. And that is Gasly? No, it's Ocon. Ocon that we almost ran into the back of there. Confidence is going back up, which is nice to see. Yeah, I think we're going to struggle with getting back in the points here. We are going to try and get a tire advantage towards the end. But even that is not necessarily going to be great. In my opinion, I sound like I know everything. I have played probably an unhealthy amount of F1 Manager over the last couple of years, so I should. That's fair. Okay, we are getting closer to pitting Hamilton, probably on the next lap, I would think. Or rather this lap, he just crossed the finish line. 16th is what we're estimated to come out as, so let's just get this done. Here is actually going to be to take care of our tires, build up more of a tire advantage, and hopefully we can turn that into a result here. Hopefully we can also have Hamilton. Nah, he's not going to come out ahead of Verstappen. That's just me dreaming. It's going to end up behind Alonso, so yeah, that's not great. If we had been able to come out ahead of Verstappen here, that would actually have been amazing. I could slow down Verstappen, but it's too late to get that done. I would have started a couple laps ago if I wanted to make that happen. But it's flying down the straight. And there we saw Hamilton in the pit. There's Alonso. We will have to try and make our best now to just manage these tires, as I mentioned. Try and nurse them a little bit towards the end. It's still a couple of cars that is going to need to pit. And Hamilton will get for free. And of course, we are going to end up pitting Verstappen again before the end of this. That's more of a gamble than anything else. There we go, a double pit stop. Where are they going to come out? Russell is parked, he's serving his penalty. No! Don't tell me you guys did a next level dum-dum. Oh, they did a next level dum-dum. I can't believe that happened. They sent Russell into the pits first with a 5-second penalty and then parked Schumacher behind him. Don't you want to heat up his tires? Probably, but again, I'm just trying to get the most out of them towards the end here. Hamilton is not really going to get any benefits from heating up his tires too quickly. We're not going to get any real overtakes here. So, even if we heat them up slowly, we're going to lose a little bit of time, yes. But having that little bit extra tire advantage when it comes to the last 5 or 6 laps could be the difference between getting a pass done or not. So, while I'm probably am coming at it backwards in terms of the tire heat up in this case, at least. That's kind of how I look at it. And we are getting closer to tire temp. It should be 95-ish degrees. Then we're good. Diabolical was 600 hours. Drivers go to the free agents that go down too much in rating. Yeah, Rating drops is kind of insane. You're not wrong. Okay, go on, Verstappen. Keep on building. Never mind. No confidence building for you. Hamilton isn't in the worst spot right now. Like, we are very far behind the leaders. But points? Definitely on the table. Gasly in a P2 while Floof is not here is actually kind of mean. Do I recommend buying F1 Manager now or later after patches? Depends. If you want to play a F1 Manager to try and min-max and challenge yourself, then I'd probably wait a couple more patches. If you're fine with, you know, not doing the meta build, so to speak, then the game in its current state is probably going to be fine. And as it gets more patches, it's going to just get better and better. So honestly, I'd probably recommend it. At this point, I'd probably recommend it, yes. But also, if you are on the fence, give it a couple more patches and see if you're still on the fence then. I don't know if this is a glitch, but when you sign free agents, they keep their helmet. I think they did that in previous games too. Like, the helmets kind of followed the drivers for some reason, which was a bit annoying, I'll be honest. Honestly, we could probably stretch Verstappen. The hards hit, degradation is actually way less than anticipated for the hards. That's a shame that we didn't realize sooner. It's a little bit too late to realize it now. I don't like having Ocon sniffing the back end of my car. That just feels like a recipe for disaster. Looking on the all-time beacon last week, it fell off drastic. Yeah, the thing is though, that's what happens when you release a game where the AI is not really developing. Like one of the core components of the game.
So Ocon car
Just it's not working on release.
the gap at 1.8.
People are gonna put the game away then. Something else is gonna catch their fancy and then they're gonna forget about it. And it's just, again, it's just sad how they've bottled the F1 Manager series because they had a lot of hype. I think, how many people played on release? 25,000? Then it was, I think, 6,000 last year, and now 10, 11 this year. So they had a chance to kind of make a bit of a comeback this year, but it just didn't happen. And last year was just a result of all the bad PR that followed the 22 release and the fact that they said that they would not release any, or rather release any more patches after just 2 weeks. So, and it's just a general problem that I've seen with Frontier games is that they look very pretty, but that is it. There's a lot of very, very simple systems behind it, which makes it boring very, very quickly. And while I enjoy racing games, racing sims, racing management, probably one of my favorite types of management game, it is disappointing to see the simplicity behind it sometimes. That is literally the best way I can put it at the moment. I think for Hamilton, we're back to topping up. I don't see us moving forwards in this train anytime soon. For Verstappen, I would love to move forwards in this train, so we're going to push a little bit more. Because if we can get past Colapinto, then we can get past Magnus and drag our way up to Perez. That's basically Verstappen's job right now. He's going to act as a pulley, if you will. Pit Max to free Hamilton and the others. The thing is, pitting Max wouldn't actually free anyone because Colapinto is the driver of this train. So it wouldn't actually benefit anything because I'm pretty sure Verstappen is quicker than Colapinto at the moment, which we'll probably see over the course of this next lap. That was kind of a rude overtake. But yeah, 32-3, 32-4 while following Colapinto. Let's see what Verstappen can do on his push. And if he can close down to Magnus and Perez, that would be good. Just updated F1 Manager 22, yeah. 23, yes, I agree. I think it's just a problem with, again, how they handle feedback. I think most of the dev team don't really understand racing sims at the moment. That's also having a bit of an effect on how they're handling the game. And it's a weird thing to say that the devs don't understand racing when they're making a racing management sim, but Frontier has done so many different genres of games that I think they're getting a little bit lost in their own source. If you get my drift, they've done Elite Dangerous, which is a immersive-ish space sim. They've been working on that for the last, what, 2015, 2014, 16, something like that. So they've had that running for a very long time. They're still updating that game, releasing DLC. They've had their Park series, which is, you know, Planet Coaster, Planet Zoo, I think is called. Basically a Zoo type Planet Coaster, games like that. They've released this, which is again a racing management sim, and they've also released a Warhammer RTS game. So, as you can imagine, they're doing a little bit too much switching between genres for, and judging by the fact that their staff gets move around between these things, I can imagine the code base would be very different for these types of games, and as a result, you end up just wasting a lot of time having your developers learn the code, if that makes sense. We're gonna have to try and micromanage Hamilton here a little bit, I think,
Alonso far behind.
because Ocon is currently slowing us down.
Keep plugging away.
With 8 laps to go, this is basically when we're gonna have to pull the trigger for Verstappen.
So
I don't think he's gonna get back into the points. He's gonna come out behind Norris.
Okay.
But he's going to have considerable tire advantage. Maybe he can fly back up. Unfortunately, no lucky safety car for him.
So next goal will be Tsunoda.
Save fuel? Wouldn't be a bad idea, yeah.
Let's just keep our heads down.
On a Narrowback's library? Honestly, I don't mind that I didn't get one. It's not a huge deal to me. But I appreciate the sentiment, Knife Wolf.
Norris ahead.
The start of revolution.
6.4. Car behind Piastri. Gap.
I am hopeful for next year's game, but again, it mostly seems to just straight up be an internal issue at Frontier more so than anything else. That's kind of what is annoying me to no end.
So we can start to use this.
Okay, let's see if we can get
Overtake.
Hamilton past Tsunoda. And then we can start getting past Colapinto and work our way up the point list there. With that, DRS should do the rest of the job, unless Tsunoda somehow comes back from this, which is
Great job though. So currently P11.
kind of viable there. He almost pushed us into the grass, but we got past. That is good. And are you not going to overtake? You're just going to sit behind with DRS? Okay, so you can do it around the outside instead and be more... Do it prettier. Do it more in a more impressive manner. I see. That's the Hamilton I know. To be fair, the reason why, like as you say, Jano and Arava will be getting libraries before me is very simple. They generate clicks, and also the clicks that they generate are more valuable because most of my content is centered around F1 Manager. So maybe if I start making other game site videos for next year or for this year, I might get delivery next year potentially if I can bring in eyes from other parts of the market, so to speak. But yeah, I understand the marketing behind it. Like, it makes sense from a marketing perspective to focus on them. Not only because of the larger following, but because they also have a more varied following. Their following isn't necessarily F1 Manager specific, so to speak. Their following isn't people who would, you know, pick up the game anyways, like most of my subscribers are. Let's be perfectly honest. Okay, Verstappen has gotten 1. Still needs to improve, gain 14 seconds in 4 laps. I think I put Verstappen in the sad box, but he did gain 3 seconds last lap. Not impossible, as Hamilton flies by Perez here. And at this point, we're just going to go turn Hamilton up too. Full attack. See if we can catch Sargent in 5th, maybe. I always thinks about the optimum. In what sense? I just think that I have a realistic outlook on how things actually are, rather than, well, pessimistic realistic, I guess, is probably the best way to describe it. But yeah, I ball this race in so many different ways, it's not even funny. But again, this is actually a pretty fun challenge because it challenges me to race in a different way. I haven't actually been in this situation much. I'm racing against equal machinery. It's basically either that I am the big underdog with very worse machinery, but superior cornering, or that I am just super far ahead. So I haven't actually done much of this. That makes it a lot more fun to do. 3 laps to go here. Okay. How do we do this with Hamilton? Verstappen is kind of doing his own thing. He's still flying 28 threes. 3 laps to go. He can potentially get up to Tsunoda if he's lucky. He's going to have some very clean overtakes to make that happen. Very clean overtakes. Hamilton gets Hulk. That's nice to see. The same for Hamilton. If we want to get 5th, we're going to have to need a clean overtake on Ocon now.
Gap 5.3.
Gap of 0.5.
Thank God, Sargent is P6. A problem with Gasly is that he might develop a puncture. He is getting close to that threshold, but he might fall off the podium.
Nice work, Lewis. So currently
Am I tripping, or did Hamilton eat 10% tires? No. He's eating about 6 to 7% tires in a lap. So you're not far off. Yeah. Again, it just makes for fun podiums too. Albon, Bottas, Gasly. I don't think anyone would expect that podium.
2 laps remaining.
Yeah, we don't have enough time here really to close down to Magnussen. And again, for Verstappen here, it's just we're not regenning ERS running neutral.
Come on, mate.
$13 would be his best chance, or rather his best finish here. Let's focus on Lewis, see what we can do. Maybe we can push him slightly higher up the order here. At least Leclerc ain't winning again. Leclerc? No, he's not winning.
Sick. Just keep plugging away.
I love angry Verstappen. Russell with a lockup.
Overtake available.
Let's have
Where's
a look.
Russell?
Right, let's have a look here as we go
He's
into
in 12th.
turn 8.
Oh,
The brakes couldn't cope.
I do like that though, that they don't guaranteed now take out the car in front when they lock up while they're running, you know, inside of them.
Tyres
That is
on.
Russell now too in puncture territory.
We are out of the DRS.
Okay.
Good Colapinto, but we got him in a bad time. I'll be honest. I don't think we can hold him away over the straight. And unfortunately, Verstappen is the one that holds fastest lap, not Lewis, because Lewis would actually, you know, get points for it. Verstappen won't. Have I really just spent 1.5 hours on this race? Oh, that is insane. We'll need to speed up the second race here a little bit, I think.
And it's
Yeah,
Albon.
that is us in
And
goal.
it's Albon.
Hamilton did actually catch up to Sargent here. I didn't expect he would that. One more lap and we might have been able to get into 5th.
You've taken the flag.
Verstappen getting 13th. Again, if I didn't bottle qualifying, I can't say we on that. It's we when we do good. It's
That's
bad
a
when
flag.
it's me when we do bad. Did bottle qualifying, would have looked a lot better. Gasly bowled the podium as God intended. If anyone wishes to, well, to be fair, he's plus 15 places. 10, 13, 11 for Sargent. AI be cooking. Let's put it like that. Bottas has actually been cooking this season. He's currently running 3rd in the championship. Albon is 2nd. But yeah, you are correct. Leclerc is 3 for 3. And Sainz. Not having a good time. Let's just put it like that. But to be fair, we actually have kind of that same pairing. One doing good, one doing not so good. We fell down to 5th with that. That is very sad. But to be fair, I think equal performance day like this, I'm not going to get fired purely due to the fact that the board is expecting 9th. That's a pretty relaxing experience too. Okay, we're going to do the Chinese Grand Prix, and then I think I'm going to go and power nap because I can feel that I'm not functioning today properly. Like, I don't function properly most of the time anyways, but it's especially bad today. Let's see. Do I want to invest in Team Hub? Yes, I want to invest in Team Hub. I also need to remember that this is to say where we are actually playing creative teams, so my budget is strained to begin with in terms of the cost cap. So I shouldn't actually do things like making development designs like I'm doing here with the suspension. It's actually a really, really bad thing to do. With the financials involved. Okay, 6 days until we go to China, and I think I once again forgot to put on new parts, so yay me. Let's rush one of these, and this time I will remember to equip at least some new parts, I promise. I think the side pods are generally a little bit of an upgrade. Not really. Chassis, that's an upgrade. We don't have frontal rears yet. So suspension and side pods still need some work before they're really useful and actually give us performance, but can use underfloor and chassis. Give ourselves a little bit of a oomph. I would assume now that we're going to be seeing AI putting on new components for this race. Yeah, we're going to leave some slots open now for designs because financially we can't take it. Okay, what about front wing? Is that an improvement? Slightly. We lose a lot of dirty air tolerance, but we gain a little bit of cornering. I think what we actually do is just stick with the one we currently have. And did I invest CFD time? I did. So let's go ahead and make a new one with the CFD time. This way I can at least be... Sorry, I'm not allowed to do that. It needs to be in the center. Yeah, this is again kind of just showcasing how broken CFD can be with the correct slider placements. So for most other things, we aren't actually getting any huge gains at all. But for this one, we're getting a whole 54 Gs. That ain't acceptable. I am doing this. Or we have to minimize one only. Honestly, might as well just run this equally, because if I do this, this alone would break the balance pretty badly, so let's just do it normally. And that's just going to be how we have to do it. Otherwise, the AI is just going to be left in the dirt with no chance of coming back ever. And that would be boring. Losing isn't fun, what I'm doing right now. But the challenge is fun, if that makes sense. Probably doesn't, but I'm enjoying myself at the moment. Blue said he would be here at this stream, but he ain't. At least he didn't have CLP and Ball a win. Honestly, it would be kind of funny if Floof has been muted by BK before he left. But I would assume he would yell at me in Discord if that happened, so I'm just going to double check. I think we are safe. I don't see any yellings from Floof, so we should be good. But that would be a hilarious troll if BK actually did that to him when I had muted him before he left. That would be quite wild. Okay, let's put in a couple of new parts here and see if that helps my performance slightly, maybe. I think what we're going to put on is going to be the new underfloors. They're going to be a little bit of a buff here. Let's give them like so. And the chassis too were a bit of a buff, so let's put these on and see if this helps our performance. It's going to weaken our DRS even more, which is going to be an issue, but we are now slightly ahead in top speed and cornering. So if we win 1-2, or basically if we win both cars top 5, we're going to remove these upgrades here and go back to where the other cars were again. But I also wanted to see how the AI is developing, and I'm worried that the AI might not be developing at all, because I haven't seen any new upgrades on. So I need to mess with that later on. Tune things down a little bit. How do I join Discord? There should be a link to both the official F1 Managed Discord and mine in the description. Which mods allowed me to change the Alpine Renault engine one to another one? It's not a mod. It's actually just me editing the engines directly through a save game editor. There's actually no like magic there. It's just save game editor more so than anything else. There is probably a mod that, you know, kind of equalizes engine performance out there. But in my case, I've just done it through the save game editor itself. This is a terrible starting point. Guess the only thing I can do here is just get it into the positives, like so. This is why I hate sprint weekends. You only get one simulation opportunity and then you are screwed. I don't think this is correct. Probably isn't. But it's what we're going for, so let's see how it pans out. I'm also going to be a little bit cheeky and switch engines here. It's going to give us a slight performance advantage. And every advantage counts, so let's see if we can actually make it through sprint qualies here. I bet you don't hate sprints as much as me. Honestly, I find sprints to be boring. Because as your beloved Inferno say was, there is no 3 pit stop on a sprint. Makes them boring. I do find sprint tedious, particularly in the game. I'm basically indifferent to them in reality. Like, I don't mind them unless, say, someone completely destroys their car and it actually has a huge influence on the race on Saturday. Then I'm no longer happy.
So call the car and we'll box.
Alvin with a triple purple. I need to get Hamilton back in the pit here so he can run out again. Verstappen should be safe, but Hamilton definitely needs to try again. Inferno is good fun. Like, he seems to just be kind of stirring shit for no reason, but I think he creates a good atmosphere by doing so. You guys play off each other really well. Spencer just wait to burn through your fuse. Yeah. To be fair, like I can't recommend to anyone that is asking how do I survive season 1. I can't recommend them anything other than the Mercedes engines because component wear and just how expensive the components are. Okay, Hammy, are you gonna improve or are you gonna make me sad? Paris last. That is fairly accurate. Yeah, Hamilton is improving with a purple sector. That's what I like to see. This is going to be enough, though. Oh, yeah. Put it basically on pole. Well,
So we're happy with that lap.
not really, but close enough. We'll take that. We'll take that as a mental win. But this already kind of worries me because we're now... Never mind, Bottas and Magnussen came in there and said, nah, you don't need to worry too much. Okay, so we actually hit Hamilton's setup, but we messed up Verstappen's. That's fine. I can live with that. Mercedes the best engine to go for because you get good durability. Yeah. The thing too is that, like, it's kind of interesting to see just how the AI... Oh, we're gonna come out behind Hulk. Basically first and last day in this run. But what's very interesting to me is, like, the only benefit the Renault engine has is fuel. But everyone is underfueling anyways, so you're not really getting any benefit from that. The AI has basically been underfueling every race that I played on hard, so even if you run the Renault engine, there's no benefit to be had. And underfueling is just objectively the best thing you can do because you end up saving powertrain wear because you're running your engine cooler. It is generally the quickest strategy in most cases. And you can do it with any car because the difference between the Renault and the Mercedes, I think, was 4 kilograms worth of fuel at the lowest setting. That's very little. So, yeah, it's the Renault engine is a very, very weird spot. Mercedes is kind of a good one for just getting you through your first season. Then you can start experimenting with Ferrari and the Honda one. Do tires in this version work properly? And if they overheat at red light, they achieve worse times, even when they're aggressive. So tires, like, they can overheat. Like, we're currently overheating our tires, if you look at this. But
P2.
unless you overheat them to above the maximum, in this case 130 degrees, you're not really going to see a lot of performance loss. It's just once you get over 130 degrees that you're going to be seeing a ton of performance loss. As long as you stay below that, you'll generally be fine.
So currently P4.
Oh no, Verstappen.
That's a good lap. So box, and call the car.
I want you to come back home immediately. You should have enough time to do one more lap though, so it should be fine. Like the new challenge, discuss, save your seat. Yeah, I was actually planning on getting that started before F1 Manager, well, 24 came out. But I just didn't have time. I wanted the idea to be simple, that people who are struggling with the game could upload their save, explain the issues that they're facing. But after seeing just how scuffed things were on release, I just decided to delay it a little bit. It's basically taking a lot of inspiration from Sealand series. I don't know if he's taking inspiration from someone else, but that's basically the inspiration behind it. Hello, Jasper. It's going well. Except that I am bottling. Everything that can be bottled, I've already bottled. I am the bottle meister. We have a yellow flag because Stroll has spun. Name a more iconic combo. Well, I already know the more iconic combo. Can you name it? Can you name a more iconic combo other than Stroll and spinning? I'll wait. Yeah, the game is kind of... it can be kind of confusing, I think, more so in the beginning. There's a lot to take in. But I also find the argument that using meta sliders is wrong. The reason why the meta sliders are the meta sliders is because it's what the paths are best at. It's what anyone would do in any kind of strategy game, so... Yeah, Verstappen might be screwed here because we got locked in the first sector. We'll have to see. Purple second gives me hope. My hope is gone. Floof and Alpine. Alpine and Floof. Ocon and team crashing. Magnus and Grosjean. Honestly, what I was going for was, since I said Stroll and spinning, Master Spin. That's the reason why I had that nickname. Yeah, also, again, the weight slider for the game right now, it's just a no-brainer to put it to minimum, which is sad. Because, honestly, the way that I personally look at the durability slider right now is that it's literally... Wait, is Gasly gonna knock us out? He did! Why is Floof not here? He would actually be dancing on the roof. Gasly knocked us out. Gasly knocks out Verstappen. Yeah, the upgrades are not working. I need more advantage in my way. I said that? I missed your message? Sorry. Oh yeah, you said it first. Sorry, I missed that one. Yeah, you won one thumbs up, Jasper. Do you really want to have a library in a game that produces a pile of shit at launch? Honestly, yes. I think. It would be an ego boost, let's be perfectly honest. That is the main reason why you'd want to have your library in a game. It would also be kind of cool. But at the same time, I can understand why I didn't get one, let's be honest. So I don't mind. It would be cool if I got one, but it's not the end of the world if I don't. So there's no need to practically look at the tire temperature, only consumability. So I'll show you a little bit about this once we get out of the qualifying here. How you can kind of look at tire temps and get an idea on how tire temps, degradation, all that. Norris in first lap. Life as a McLaren fan is hard. You guys got Piastri. I don't think your life is going to be hard in a year's time. It would. I don't disapprove that. So good scene. It would be free advertisement. You are correct. Okay, that is a good first setting. First attempt here. Could we get our first pole position? Or did we have one and bottle it last time? I actually can't remember. That's how much I need a nap. Yeah, Bottas didn't get us this time. Honestly, we could have sent the car out once more if we tried, but I think we are safe. Should I be happy for getting pole for a sprint race? Probably not. Leclerc's the only one that can threaten us. Is he gonna send it fast enough? No, he is not. We're good. Civilian fan, I'm more struggling. Yeah, you're getting Science. Science and Albon is not a bad pairing, I would say. But yeah, in terms of tire degradation and temperature, there's really just one thing that you need to be focused on when it comes to that, and that is to pay attention to the degradation. And what I mean by that is, if your degradation follows this line, everything's good. Basically, you are running within the expected temperatures, everything is fine. If your degradation starts going below this line, that's when you need to slow down. You need to go one tag up, because basically the expected degradation is higher, or rather the actual degradation is higher than expected, and that is a very good chance then that you're going to overheat your tires beyond the maximum, then get into trouble. Generally though, as long as the degradation follows this line, you're not really losing any performance on the tire. That's the best way I can describe it. So put this into whatever you're planning to run your tire at, and if it follows the degradation, you are perfectly fine. I think we do this. We're going to do the good old boring strategy of running a light medium tire. And I'm not going to underfuel for the sprint. That just screams bad decision. And basically, last 5 laps is when we're going to try and do something on these tires. For Hamilton, it's just surviving out front. Should be doable. He has a good setup. Everything is looking acceptable here. Did I give every team max performance? No, I gave them 70% or so in terms of expertise, because I still wanted them to be able to improve. And I want to see if there's any interesting individual differences that pop up. Did I see what Komatsu said about how previously Haas were in denial? I did not, but that sounds like a fun read. Okay, so Verstappen held on. Hamilton held on. Never mind, Verstappen did not hold on. First it was Gasly, now it's Colapinto. I swear, we need Floof here just so we can nerf his squad. Adjust Max's front wing. I could have done that, yes. But I'm not a clever man. And honestly, we should be able to adjust after sprints, so it's going to be okay. Hamilton's lost out 2 positions, which sounds bad, but really it's not too shabby. He just needs to stay within the DRS of Gasly and Bottas, and he'll be fine. Okay, that was Verstappen destroying his former car. But somehow survived. Cars reached the maximum speed from what I analyzed. They only reached maximum speed in China. I don't know. I haven't actually had taken a look at that yet. Yeah, Piastri just seems to be a bit more consistent at the moment, so I'm looking forward to seeing how he grows over the next few years. Trying to do a car built on nothing but setting all the sliders to max at a top speed on all the parts that can in design and research. Huh? A top speed car is going to be very fast on the straights, but it's going to be very slow in the corners, so you're going to lose so much time in the corners that you will never be able to use that top speed to actually get an overtake done on a car that has similar stats. That's the problem. That's kind of why cornering is so good, because cornering allows you to stay close to the car that has a higher top speed in front, and then you can just kind of DRS coast off of them, if that makes sense. So that is kind of why you'd want to, again, just coast off the car ahead. That's also why we focus cornering, because it just makes you quicker in the corners. Most of the tracks are just straight up corners. And if you lose in top speed, you can generally get back by just DRSing of the car in front if you aren't quick enough to break DRS in the corners. Max, Lando, Leclerc, Lewis, Piastri. Playing the game with the Renault engine. Oh yeah, there was an acceleration question I missed earlier. Sorry about that. Acceleration is heavily tied to engine. The only other way to improve it is by drag reduction, and it's going to be in very, very low increments, like 0.001. So, yeah, if you're going to be severely limited acceleration-wise by the engine of your choice. There's no way around that. I think McLaren will win the championships this year. If Red Bull don't pull themselves together, they probably going to get the constructors. Yes. Could be a fun challenge, but again, it's gonna really limit you quite a few different ways, which could be a problem. But top speed could be an interesting challenge for sure. Now for Lewis here, we're actually losing from the top two, which is a little bit bad, but I think we'll just run him neutral and then harvest if we can catch back up to them with the help of Albon here. Already we have about a 10% tire advantage. And this tire advantage is only going to keep on growing, so we're currently in a good spot. Again, you're going to be losing out positions for the first 10 or so laps doing this for sprints. So you can generally get this back towards the end. It's the idea, at least. I have, however, pushed the fuel a little bit too much, so we need to get this back to about 0.3. So I can surf a lap or two. Yeah, acceleration is quite important. I edited the save, Nathan. If you want to test this out for yourself, I have the save file uploaded on my Discord. Basically the same one as I'm playing now. You can start with the exact same premise that I'm running and see if you can beat me. Do I think Perez keeps his seat? Probably not at the end of the year. At this point, Red Bull is basically saying that sponsor money is worth more than finishing first in constructors. They'll take second place with Perez to sponsor money, I think is the decision they made there. What's the pace difference between top up and ERS and harvest in ERS? Basically, currently, if you deploy, you can gain close to 2 to 3 seconds. And if you harvest, you're basically cutting that in half. So whenever you run harvest, you're losing 1 to 2 seconds a lap. Top up is not as severe because you can generally stick with the car in front of you and use the DRS to kind of recoup the time you're losing. It's going to take 5 times longer to get the energy back than if you ran harvest, because again, top up is just 0.2 versus 1. But it is a viable thing to do if you're staying within DRS of a car in front and you have the opportunity to be patient in how you regain your energy, basically. So if you can do that, then great. You can go ahead and run top up. If not, harvest is going to be pretty rough for you for a couple of laps. You're going to be losing a lot of time. It's way more punishing this year than it was last. Paris is a weird enigma, honestly, in F1. Because he can genuinely be very good, but he seems to have... Oh, Stroll and Tsunoda. Hey, boys have been parked up.
Safety car, safety car.
Question. Is the AI going to pit now?
So here we go, heading into turn 1. Barely any room to maneuver. The car's coming together right.
Stroll will run into the back of him.
Surprised if there were a few words exchanged when they get back.
A few angry words. Now the question becomes very simple. Are we going to need to pit here? Now Verstappen doesn't need to make that decision immediately. We can see what the AI does. But I think staying out it is actually the correct call. Because we can have, if everyone, let's say every AI pits. Verstappen and Hamilton can ERS off each other. It's 11 laps remaining. They would go into a soft tire. How much... Telling me that I can't check compound performance. There we are. How much of an advantage is a soft tire around here? About 3.5 tenths. 10 laps advantage for fresh. Can we offset that with the DRS? I think we can. I think we can. Wish I could park that well. I could see AI pitting it too. The thing that I think that the AI might do here though is that they might burn those tires immediately. And we might see drivers like Sainz stay out. Honestly, I think some of these guys are going to stay out. And if they do, they're going to be a very valuable buffer to us. And with the tire we save, we'll be able to run attack towards the end as well. So I think Hamilton is staying out. Because I can't gamble on pitting him, because I'm not exactly sure what the AI is going to do here. They could stay out. It's a sprint. They do weird stuff during sprints. Okay, they are pitting. I still think we gamble on staying out. And we try and DRS off each other here. This is going to be potentially the wrong choice. But Gasly won the pit shuffle.
No, that's a slow pit stop.
Norris with an issue. Let's see, how long are the pit stops around here? Because could we now pit ourselves? I don't like that you don't have that info during sprints. Like, they won't give you the pit stop info. Exactly how much time it's going to cost. But yeah, we can't pit now. We actually got collected by a safety car. I thought we would be able to avoid that. So Gasly went to a new medium. Okay, we might still be good here. We're going to be able to refuel for quite a few laps. That should be fine. We're going to be a little bit cooked right now because we are basically doing the opposite of what we did. Yeah, probably would have been a good choice to get Verstappen into the pits, I'll be honest. We're not getting P1, P2? Yeah.
Safety car is in this lap.
I still think we can make something happen here, though.
Okay.
With the help of DRS, and we are gonna go like so. So either we take each other out or we survive. That's gonna be the play here. A little bit cooked, we're about to get burnt. I think it's going to be that bad. DRS is powerful around here, so if we have our drivers DRS off each other, we're still going to be probably fine. It's basically just going to be a question of can we manage energy in a good manner around here. Okay, the second we turned off ERS for Verstappen, he lost Hamilton. That's insane. I did turn them off in the wrong way, though, so that is my fault. Yeah, I messed up there badly. But that's not necessarily the worst thing ever. Have Gasly be the pulley in this train could also work out. Softs are also already down to 88. By the end of this, the softs will be equal to ours. The actual cars that will have an advantage is going to be the two medium runners. We just need to hold on. And that too is going to be a little bit of a challenge. So I think the play is to allow Gasly to overtake. Go with the deploy here, Hamilton. You need to follow him. I need to slow this down so I can actually react in time. We need to follow Gasly, stick with him, if we can.
Nice.
And use that DRS that he is going to offer us to pull away from Leclerc and Bottas if possible. That's going to be the only way we survive this. Then we're going to have to launch an attack on him towards the end.
So Verstappen now car behind.
It's not all over yet.
Pace is still good. Let's just keep it.
But Gasly could run away. That would be bad.
Just keep on top of the management.
I think it's going to be fine. There's 6 laps remaining. Generally here on the medium, 6% a lap if you push. So we could potentially push to the end here from now on. So it's not all bad. We can tune the tires up to aggressive. The only difference is, do we want to try and get that tire advantage back, basically, by running the tires on less aggressive? Or do we want to not risk it and make sure that we stick with them? Those are basically the 2 options we have right now. And of course, we'd also like to recharge the RS if we could while we're behind them.
Verstappen car behind. So gap 0.5 behind. Just do what you can.
Enough time push. We're fine right now. Again, we just need to... We need to use Gasly for all he's worth until Bottas, Leclerc, and Rick kill their tires. And that's not going to take too long. That's going to happen within the next 3 or 4 laps, which is basically the end of the sprint. So, as long as we stay with Gasly here, well, as long as we overtake him too, for that matter, we'll be fine. Hamilton is not interested in playing second fiddle in this this sprint of ours. I don't know if Verstappen can run top up while we do this, though. That's the thing. Can we recharge him while we have Gasly and Hamilton fight? Or is that going to make him too vulnerable to Bottas? Did you hear at the LA 28 Olympics they won't be doing breakdancing anymore? Wasn't there some sort of weird, like... Oh, I was about to say scandal this year with breakdancing during the Olympics? Something about Australia's representative being not good or something? Like they weren't sure how their representative got the place or something like that? The only reason why I know that something like... Oh, there we go, Bottas. Now we need to push. Something about... the only reason why I know this is because... The only reason why I even heard about this is because I saw Ray Gun on Reddit, because it was trending. Yellow flag, who has caused an incident?
Got a yellow flag.
I assume this is a lockup? Yeah, sure.
Here's the replay. Yo Guan Yu is the focus here.
Not a scandal, just a meme on the Australian breakdancer. Okay. I just find it funny that the Australian breakdancer was nicknamed Ray Gun. Brings me back to Call of Duty Zombies. They're actually getting away now. That's not what we like to see. And we actually like less having to use energy to catch up.
Verstappen behind. Verstappen 0.4 behind.
Question
So head
is...
down now.
Have the RS currently, but they are just so much quicker with it.
So Gasly next car. Gap at 0.9.
So I think the correct choice here for what we actually had happen here, if I could redo this pit stop, was that we would have pitted Hamilton and kept Verstappen out.
Those attempts.
Verstappen is also losing the gap here a little bit. Temperature-wise, we should be fine still. It is getting close to that 130 degree though. Just kind of where we're going to see some danger.
Then overtake will be available.
I think we just need to push. Push, try and close down the gap again.
Press and hold the overtake.
Okay.
Because the RS is actually going to decide if Hamilton stays within this fight. And I think he's out of it, unfortunately. Same it for Verstappen.
Okay, so car behind you is now Leclerc. Keep your head down.
Okay, so Verstappen's fight has now become a fight with Leclerc. No way about it. And the Williams is also going to overtake us because we're on the grass.
2 laps remain.
That's the grass just shafting us there. That is actually frustrating that you get sent to the grass realm, then you lose out massively.
What's going on there? No, it's very light speed.
Keep trying.
LA doesn't think breakneck dance should be in the Olympics. Honestly, there's so many bad things that are in the Olympics, so I don't see why not at this point, why it shouldn't be in it. But yeah, Verstappen did get cooked here. Kind of why, because I didn't micromanage enough, but also because I got pushed on grass. Worst team, Alpine with everything worst.
Gap 0.6.
The worst pin. Floof's nightmare. The fact that Gasly and Bottas is just DRSing off each other and switching positions is not good.
Valtteri car ahead. Gap 0.9 ahead.
Okay, now we're a little bit closer. Okay, we are gonna have to try and YOLO send it
Overtake is available.
if we want something better than third place.
And 1 more lap. Understood.
Why is my team name at Qualify? It's
Keep hanging in there, Alex.
basically, have you seen the new, or rather trailers for the new F1 movie, Jasper? One of the sponsors for like Brad Pitt's team, if you will, is called Expensify. So since I equalized all the teams, we're a Qualify. So it's basically just a dumb joke. That is literally the best way I can describe it.
Gap ahead.
If that makes
6.
sense.
Yeah, don't sweat it, Lewis. Don't sweat it.
Thank God, no. Do we have another Alpine enthusiast in the chat, Damien?
Press and hold the overtake max.
Go on, full send. Take Gasly out. You have my permission. Expensify sounds like some sort of tax fraud. I think it's just a funny, like, fake sponsor that they put in the movie. I'll be honest.
Factory at the moment.
Yeah, pitting would have been the best choice here. I don't think Verstappen would have finished much different. He probably would have been fighting Bottas and ended up 5th if it wasn't for him getting put in the grass.
Nice work, Lewis.
But yeah, definitely would have benefited from pitting.
Max Verstappen.
I do feel like I get very much shafted over whenever I pit though, so
Results.
I don't know. We still held on with
Going into the pit.
Hamilton. Could have done the same with Verstappen if I was a little bit more clever.
Now it's time to see who come out on
Someone
top.
has to channel
Qualifying
Floof Spirit, I guess. Yeah, I'm worried for Floof. He said he would be here. I've yet to see him. I assume he might be sleeping. Yeah, let's see here. We can actually tweak the setup now. A little bit. I'm going to consult the archives to see what setup we want to tweak it to. For Verstappen's sake. China. Okay, it says 7.5, so I assume we want to go this way. What on the rare? 13.5. We are cheesing a little bit right now. I won't deny it. How does that work? Okay, let's do that. That should be closer to Verstappen's maximum. And honestly, for Hamilton, I don't want to tweak anything. Sounds like a bad idea. So we'll keep him at 92. I can accept that. Setup, please. I think I did the setup, please. Gamer. Hopefully you're happy with that. We are going directly to qualifying here. So nothing more I can do, unfortunately. Should tweak the ham's front wing? Yeah, but again, once you're over 90%, I'm happy, personally. And it probably would have been correct to tweak it to the right there. You can tweak it after qualifying if you feel like it then. That is true, though. You can tweak it anytime you want. If you're a team like Mercedes is money in Season 1, is it worth... Let's see here. Is it worth going minimum weight for the upgrades? I'd say it's worth going minimum weight for the upgrades for any team, Charlie. But to really make minimum weight work, you are going to need a level 2 factory, so you have three development slots, or 3 manufacturing slots, rather. Because you're going to be switching components a lot. But the performance gain from going minimum weight is just so massive that it far outweighs any, you know, negatives from you spending more money on manufacturing parts, because you'll be getting it back from race payouts, for instance. So I would definitely say going minimum weight is the best. Just objectively the best choice. I'm just signing 2 F3 drivers from Alpine Academy, giving them a chance.
Okay, cool the tyres and we will box this lap.
Triple purple for the ham.
Okay.
Verstappen 3, 4, and 2 tenths behind.
So keep that delta tight.
That's not good.
So just confirming boxing and back into the garage.
Luthor's up to 4 AM for one of the streams. He does not sleep. That is true. He probably does what I did. I know for 23 there was a lot of streams. Well, not a lot, probably just a couple. There were a couple of streams where I just did not show up because I fell asleep. So we're similar in that way, I guess you could say. I appreciate Floof though. And it is kind of fun to tease him about the Alpine playthrough having, you know, bad moments. Okay, we are gonna wait until basically Paris gets by us here, I think. There we go. We're gonna do a second run now for Verstappen because he needs it. And since we are kind of in traffic here, we shouldn't be too impeded too hard is what I'm hoping for. Probably getting all the shovel donations so you can dig that hole deeper. That would also not surprise me, to be fair. Am I going to speed up the race? I think I'm going to have to speed up the race a little bit, yes. But I do enjoy playing the races slow. But at the same time, I'm a little bit too impatient to really take advantage of it. Which we've seen during quali, which we've seen during sprints. Verstappen is looking good now, though. He's basically equaling Albon, which is a weird sentence. But both of them have basically purples at this point. I think the ham should be fine. So the question is just, what did he do for his final sector? 40.2.
Not bad like that, Max.
That should be safe.
Okay.
But Leclerc's still there. Perez, Sainz. Still a lot of dangerous drivers out here. I think we gamble on being safe. And I've said that probably 5 qualities in a row now. And it has failed me every time. You know, Verstappen, we are sending you out on the old tires. Not really to set a new best time, but to be a nuisance in that first corner for someone trying to set a good time. We're doing a little bit of a bad thing to protect ourselves. And it might not have paid off here. That is one improvement. Schumacher did not improve further. What about Stroll? Did not improve further. Leclerc will probably improve further. Why is Bottas always P1? Oh, Leclerc is out? No, he can still improve. But we are not out, luckily. Damn, that was close. McLaren P1 and P3 might be cooking in the series for once. The Alpine series? I'm hoping that it's Alpine Colapinto podium until the 40th lap, then Floof shows up and everyone crashes. That is basically how it goes for Floof, to be fair. He is very unlucky. Why have I used 2 soft tires with you, Hamilton? That's not good. Just have our boys DRS off each other. This one. Honestly, in China, I think taking manual control in the first send-out would be good because that way you avoid traffic. In this case, our traffic is going to be Leclerc. But taking manual control in your first run immediately should get you around quick enough that there won't be too much traffic in your way. We also should go ahead and say that we're at Shanghai. So I bullied Waltz a little bit yesterday for him not updating in time. At least I got it before I got yelled at. You're 1.2 seconds behind Verstappen. You are terribly disappointing currently.
Box.
Yep.
Yeah, if you guys haven't yet, go check out Waltz. He's he has my permission to shout out his YouTube channel, shout out his Twitch. He's very entertaining as well. Well, he's more entertaining than me, I'll be honest. So you can find some fun F1 Manager content with him. Okay, let us see if we can get 2 more runs in here. So we're going to do a manual control run here to get them round quick enough. But once I actually see how much... Oh, it's because we have a red flag incoming.
Box.
Who told me that McLarens were cooking? Someone cursed them immediately. Yeah, feel free. Also, I don't care. Like, I enjoyed your stream, and I don't mind sharing it with other people. That is Lando, yes.
As for the team back in the garage, that was a tough...
You shout out me on your stream, I shout out you on my stream. Yeah, let's see if I can find Twitch at least. I think that is what your main is, isn't it? I would assume. Yeah, if you're looking for a cheeky man to watch some F1 content with, F1 Manager content, when I'm not streaming, this would be your guy. Let us see here what we can do. Honestly, we should do fresh tires because we'll have just enough time for one more run. I think that might be the McLaren version of Floof. Every time a team gets scuffed, it is the ABC version of Floof. Why is it everyone that watches the stream and has a favorite team, favorite driver, the second they announce that, they just decide that it's my time to shine? Wall next. Okay. I need an improvement here. We just need to beat 5 cars, boys. Just 5 cars, Verstappen. That is easy. You can do that. I trust in you. Albin for Paul. Let's see if it works for me. My favorite,
So currently at P1.
my favorite driver and team is Ferrari and Leclerc.
Box.
To be fair, last stream Leclerc won 3 races in a row, Jasper. And this stream he has yet to score points. Really? Are we gonna get a double DNF during the race for a few teams here now, maybe? I think me and Flux need to start praying for P19 and 20. That's amazing. Albert for pole. Don't know about that one. That is an amazing first sector from Alonso. 295 seconds. We should be able to do one more run here for Verstappen because we have to. Hamilton should be safe. And if he is not safe, then I don't know what the world is anymore. This should just be enough that we get Verstappen out and around. But I do think we're going to need manual control here. Just to make sure that he actually drives quick enough for it to matter. Yes, a Williams fan. Hello, Floof. You missed the Gasly winning. You also missed Gasly knocking out Verstappen in qualifying. Nah, honestly, Gasly's been doing well. The other boys not so well. Let's put it like that. So you haven't missed too much. Okay, let's see if Verstappen can actually do an improvement that would save him this time around, because he needs it. Verstappen has been atrocious so far. Did his confidence get reset too? It's high, okay, so at least we got that going for us. Have I noticed anything really separating drivers at the moment? Any patterns emerging? Well, everything is equal at the moment, so Leclerc winning 3 races in a row for the first 3 races with everything being equalized, that's kind of an outlier, I'll be honest. But other than that, we've had a lot of drivers on the podiums. We've had kind of switches back and forth. I don't think there's anything specific that kind of separates the drivers too much in terms of their performance. Verstappen up and forth, we like that to see that. And that's also kind of what I expected from this, unfortunately. But with that said, as I mentioned, Leclerc's 3 wins here in a row. I can't really look at that now, but we can take a look at it after the race. But Leclerc winning 3 races in a row is kind of insane in again, an equal performance setting. Shouldn't have laughed at Leclerc. Nah, he came back and won yesterday from that. That's the scariest part. Okay. We are going to be using some used tires. And I think I'm going to take manual control of this first one. Because that way we might be able to do 3 runs here. And also, it's the only time when Verstappen actually did something decent. So that could end up being key. Okay, let's get that sector timetable up again. And let's enjoy the show. With Hamilton immediately getting blocked severely. Send that man to the Shadow Realm. Honestly, with such a massive block, we are just going to call him in immediately. There's no point in trying even there. All 7/10 in the first corner to Verstappen. Get him in, get him on new tire, try again. Piastri did get done dirty with his rating, I agree with that. But the insane growth that the drivers have this year kind of makes him catch up to Lando in a year, which is also insane from a different perspective. Verstappen has actually done it very, very well here, I think. Hamilton with a 7.8 second behind lap time. And the best part is he's still getting a confidence boost from that, because confidence is a silly, silly system that makes no sense. So we launch Hamilton now. We should be seeing him getting a bit of a mentality boost. There's also something funky going on here with the fuel, because that did not change while we were pushing. So yeah, his driver confidence has gone up from him having a terrible sector 1 and then just coming back to the pits. And I do find that quite hilarious. Leclerc's back to his old shenanigans, stealing our poles. I like that. DKK went out for beer and football. He was there at the start, Loof. Confidence is a joke? Yeah, it fluctuates way too much. Like, the mentality and confidence system, both of them need a drastic rework, in my opinion, because mentality is just reach certain thresholds and drivers can become world stars. And confidence is just, I got overtaken by Verstappen on fresh softs. Well, I had cars that are falling apart. I don't like this. Yeah, it doesn't make sense, honestly. Confidence is really busted. And I kind of also want to take a look at that during this. So we actually have Bono for Hamilton, and we have GP for Verstappen. And even that doesn't seem to help much. So particularly in your creative team saves, your confidence is just always going to be rock bottom. And there's no way to deal with that. Shame we never got to see Mazepin in the F1 Managed Series. He was in 22. Then the whole Ukraine thing happened and he got removed, I believe. It says you're heading to garage, but you did not improve your time. I think I'm being lied to here, Hamilton, because this does not add up to... There we go. That's a lot better. Pole. Can we get a 1-2 for the first time in forever? Yeah, Mazepin has been in the database for 3 years now, hilariously enough. What's my thoughts on running a conserved soft tire? It's very viable. Oh, I have actually completely screwed over Verstappen here by getting distracted again. Oh. Can someone go back and see what happened to that Williams? Because it looked like it kind of... turtleneck shrunk there when Verstappen came past. But yeah, I think what we do here is call him in again, and we have him run just again from the get-go. I think that is our best bet here. Because he did not get a good start off the line. He did get a little bit held up by Albon. And we have time enough to call him in and send him out again, so that's fine. Yeah, it looks like the Williams sidestepped. You're not wrong. I think Mazepin has just a basic rating now of like 50 across the board. It's not high, let's just put it like that. Let's see if we can actually get a proper run in now for Verstappen. I would love to overtake Leclerc before we get started on our flyer. And Gasly too, for that matter. Albon is currently on a flyer, so it wouldn't actually be too beneficial to catch up to him too quick. But we're ready now for Verstappen. Create a team with Mazepin and Latifi. That sounds like more pain than what you're currently doing, to be fair. Max Verstappen. Is this a real man? Or do we have a fanboy in a chat here? I would assume it is a prank if someone checks that out. Come on, King Albono. He did steal pole. We have Sargent in third. Verstappen is purple sector, though. He could snatch it back. Leclerc's not looking too good. No. We have Albano on the pole. There were some very happy Williams men here. Leclerc with a penalty because he crashed out last race, didn't serve his penalty there. So he's going to fall down to Alonso's place. We have a... I love that Gasly qualified, top 3 last race, and the second Floof arrives, it's just back to irrelevancy. At least Ocon did a little bit better. Colapinto did a little bit better than he did at Japan, but still. I'm still going to lose to these guys, let's be honest. I'm setting myself up to fail by saying these things. Sargent's currently bleeding profusely. This is when I would have needed the sound effect for him. But yeah, we are in a Williams sandwich, which honestly, with Sargent behind us and Albon in front, is kind of a scary place to be. Not gonna lie. Like how the first session, I put Gasly drops to 9. I feel like Gasly is just trolling you, like the game is trolling you. How is our compound situation here? Hard, hard, soft, soft. The AI's compound situation should be even worse because they pitted during the sprint. We did not. So this is a... Is this a do something silly moment? Not undercut but go long? If we get another red flag that ruins the strategy, I'm going to be very, very sad. What does Hamilton's situation look like? He has one... How has he ended up with an extra set of tires compared to Verstappen? Sorry. The other happened. Put them on different strategies that would make things a little bit more easier to manage. I think that is what we do here. That way we have Hamilton pitting lap 15, Verstappen lap 20. I shouldn't theoretically lose if I do this. Unless, of course, we get a safety car on lap 50. But yeah, this way we should be able to hold on to our position somewhat. And as long as we run in the front, we should be able to manage. So let's go for this, see how this plays out for us. If I were driving for F1 team, regardless of car, who would I drive for? Is it just the current teams, or like teams that no longer exist as well? How much Alpine bashing I missed? Actually, not too much. Alpine has been cooking while you were gone. Like, that's not actually a joke, Floof. I know that we say that every time you show up late. Like, oh, Alpine has been cooking while you weren't here, but it's the actual truth most of the time. Front wing adjust? Sorry, I saw that a little bit too late, gamer.
Well then, it's almost time for the Chinese Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Okay, let's see what we can do here to just survive. Get Albon off the line. Albon is also running a hard tire.
Yeah.
That's interesting. The top 3 are running
So he just stay online.
the harder compounds compared to the next 3 boys. Gasly on a used soft tire. That's the only... Like, you can't actually write this. Gasly's the only car on a used soft tire on the track right now. The universe is actually nerfing him with Floof's arrival. I wish I was joking, but it's actual truth. Let's cook the strategy. I hope I can cook the strategy and not cook my head. That would be beneficial. Yeah, I think this should work out pretty well. Because with Albon and hard tires, we now have kind of a secondary line of defense. And honestly, after the first lap here, we can probably slow down the energy usage too. I did make one mistake, however, for the observant eye. And what is the mistake that I made? I made a mistake of not underfueling like the AI does. Let's see. Nope, I actually have underfueled. The AI didn't underfuel? This has got to be the first time in history. Again, could be because I messed with the fuel. So, wouldn't surprise me if that was the reason why the AI didn't underfuel. But yeah, for now, we'll just manage our energy a little bit. Allow Albon to use a lot of his. And then maybe see if we can do a little bit of a breakaway here for both Hamilton and Albon. For Hamilton and Albon? For Hamilton and Verstappen. Why am I being influenced by the Williams gang here to support them? That's not acceptable. The floof aura? We have Colapinto in the mix. Yeah, you have two cars currently in the points. I have no idea what Ocon did, but he's now down to 16th. That's a nice overtake there, honestly, from Verstappen.
Let's see what happened there.
I want to take a look at that again.
We're at turn 9. That's the location for this one. And they squeeze by.
Okay. Looked maybe a little bit prettier when I only saw the second half of that. Got pretty alongside it initially as well. I still think that our best choice is to burn the tires, but the other issue is that everyone else is also burning their tires. And that could definitely become a problem. So I think what we're going to do, slow things down a little bit, and we are going to be playing Runaway with our two cars. So in this case, we're going to have Hamilton push.
Use the overtake.
Verstappen should hopefully be able to use DRS to keep up. And honestly, we can probably get away from the Williams here. They seem a little bit slow.
Yeah.
Let's have both of our boys go for the breakaway here. We can DRS off each other, get away from the Williams, create a small gap here. That would actually be huge. Hamilton has the better tire here. Like, he actually has a 3 or maybe 4 tenths, probably close to 2.5 tenth advantage in terms of pace just from the tire. And taking advantage of that is going to be very, very good. Now, that won't matter anymore now because they have the soft runner ahead. But this is looking very, very good for us. Leclerc in shambles, getting overtaken by Gasly. I think this is when we go back to neutral. We're still going to keep on pushing. We have the gap. The question is just, can we maintain it? Williams were very slow last lap. Like, you can see 37.3, 37.2. We have Alonso with 37.7. Just the Williams is being very, very slow. But again, this is kind of, again, just underlining what I'm saying here, that ERS is incredibly powerful this year. Because that is the main thing that we use to get away from Williams. If we look down at the other lap times there, most of them are around the 39-40 mark. So, yeah, the main thing that we actually gained time with here was just pushing ERS. 38.8, 38.1. We did have a little bit of a DRS switch there as well, so shouldn't come as a surprise. But we're already a lot slower. But yeah, it's looking very, very good so far. We can speed things up slightly. Okay. Let us catch up here. I may have broken the database editor. I have 4 billion performance. Yeah, you can break the car. You can make a rocket ship sockets in. There's nothing that prevents you from doing that. Like, you can make negative fuel efficiency. You can make negative thermal efficiency, which I did. So you can do a lot of stuff with the editor that the game The game won't care really if you do it, because it'll still try and simulate it to the best of its ability. I just started my first proper My Team save, and I don't know how people have had money issues. I would assume you've been quite careful with how you spent your money and your cost cap, Floof. A lot of people assume they can just keep on designing, you know, for the entire season, because that's what you can do in 23. So people assume it's the same in Creator Team, which honestly you can't really fault them for. It's just a bit unfortunate. So when I show up and say I support Ferrari, they start underperforming. Well, Leclerc had 3 wins in 3 races before you showed up, Jasper. I don't know if that's your fault. But it is suspicious. Gasly and 1 tires passing cars. You see, though, to be fair, though, he could get the undercut of the century here. Like, he could undercut up to 3rd place. I have no clue why the Williams are so slow. Albon is just falling down. He must have lost all of his confidence when we overtook him initially. Because Japan was also on standard difficulty, so yeah, this makes very little sense in terms of a race perspective. But maybe it took a race for it to catch up. I don't know. Because they did underfuel in Japan, even though we changed things around. Hulkenberg is quick, Leclerc is quick, but is that because they're DRSing? Nah, it's not because Leclerc. Yep, we should be winning this one pretty chill. Sargent is cooking again? Yeah, Sargent's about to get a podium. So have I flew Ferrari? Maybe. To be fair though, science is not your responsibility, Jasper. He was doing this before. Like last time too. Dude has 4 points versus Leclerc 75, so you kind of get an idea there on just how different the 2 Ferrari drivers have been. So science is not your responsibility, but maybe Leclerc. But then again, in Australia, I think he started 11th and still won, so he's still a danger. I support a qualify. Dyslexic, thanks and back. Don't worry, we all understood what you meant, Opal. It's perfectly fine. Nobody knew of my Ferrari support then. Now the gremlin that haunts you. Is Floof like a curse that just wanders around and curses everyone who supports different teams? Is that what's happening?
Okay, this won't be long now.
You've been hit by the Floof curse? Your team will now underperform for eternity? Is that what's going on? Let's see it now. Gasly is pitting. I want to kind of follow him before we pit to Hamilton. For Floof's sake, A, but also, he's going on to hard tires. He's definitely going for the long-term undercut. And we have a yellow flag.
Turn 1.
Multiple cars crashed.
Debris, where you are now.
Looks to not be us. Looks to be Norris again.
Now, who is that? Now, that looks like Lando Norris.
Who's the McLaren fan that joined? Because Norris has definitely been cursed this session.
Not just one car involved
Oh.
in that, as you can see.
Is he going to hit the wall?
Now, that had the potential to do some real damage.
Well, the wall ate him, so I don't know if he actually picked up suspension damage.
More debris about.
Let's see. Yeah, he definitely picked up suspension damage because I can't see any damage to front wing. Like, he has both of his end plates, so that kind of signifies no real damage to front wing. Oh, yeah, he is terminal now. Norris is just trying to get to the pits. No, sorry. He's not terminal. He ate a penalty. But I know that he had a yellow triangle before that. I'm so used to being just straight up a DNF now. But yeah, he did have a yellow triangle. He actually has a fresh set of components too, so I'm wondering if they took any damage in that whack. I love that we immediately got the, you know, as another story thrown in our face. The second I said I wanted to look at Gasly. Norris went ahead and just said, nah, it's my time on the screen. The launch leaderboard here is the extended UI mod. You can find it on overtake.gg. Might have floofed McLaren. Yeah. I'm no longer on the Verstappen sleep schedule floof. I'm on the can't sleep schedule together. I'm gonna try and get a power nap done after this this race, I think. McLaren is floofed. Canero, what's my favorite team right now? In no way does this have to do with my newfound abilities. It's clearly a qualify as of this moment, Floof. A qualify is my favorite team to have ever existed in F1 as a whole. They are the best as this team, and Hamilton and Verstappen are the best as his drivers, and they'll never make a mistake. Ever. I got scared when this popped up immediately. How does equal performance work if the computer teams can't upgrade as fast as the player can? Basically, you're gonna have to limit yourself, Electric Sim. You're gonna have to limit your upgrades, but to kind of compensate for that, to make the AI a little bit quicker with upgrading, I've given them permanent 6 upgrade slots. Like, they have 6 design slots permanently, and I also boosted their initial budgets quite a bit. Okay, where exactly is Hamilton going to come out? It's going to come out somewhere between Paris and Magnussen, if I'm not wrong. And we have other cars pitting too, that's good. Clean stop. Oh, you actually placed yourself behind Colapinto. I don't see any reality where this could be a very, very bad choice. Albon, no!
Big crash here. Just be careful.
Albon, why are you destroying the Williams streams too? Playing with fire? We'll have to see though. I think I'm immune.
They all knew what that
Hello, Hippity.
meant.
Hippity hoppity. Floops. Floops. Curse, now your property. Okay, is Bottas drivable? He has a puncture. Albon has severe damage, but I don't know to what. Okay, he's missing half his front wing. That could explain that. No safety car though. Terminal damage now for Bottas. Well, not terminal, major. But yeah, he's basically going to get lapped here with that. We're needing to lug a puncture through half of the racetrack here. Albon ate a penalty for it too, just to add insult to injury. So yeah, whoever was the Albon fan, you have cursed him. Clearly. Pro qualify coming soon. I hear the floof curse doesn't like ego. I'm trying to play it up, Jasper. So when I do get kind of squished back to reality, I definitely am going to deserve it. This is like the Edster days. the initial curse from Edster has found its hold now in floof. On lap 3, I said I was supporting Williams. To be fair, I am supporting Williams in the sense that they have an interesting lineup next year with Sainz and Albon. But I don't think I said it in a way that would make them crash. Oh, that is a nasty pass in Colapinto where you kind of left him just scuffed at the side of the road.
Too long, Max, in terms of stop.
Yep.
I'm curious what else kind of shenanigans we can get to this race. After that rear ending, I would have signed car 77 some Bottas cream. 22-second lap in Bahrain. Yeah, you can create actual like rocket ship circuits in. Like there's nothing stopping you. Just please don't go on the Reddit when you try and upgrade that car and ask why is my car improving like that. There was one guy that did that at one point, and it was just so funny to read. Because dude literally had a car that was modded to the extremes. And he was wondering why he was losing basically a minute of performance when he tried to upgrade the car. Big crash and flew out of the map. If you crash at your pace, I think you're going to end up in a different time zone, so it's in. Should we all start supporting a qualify? Yeah, you should. Does anybody have Tio crash again and again? I haven't actually tried Tio yet. Why am I not using my ERS? Because right now we don't need to, and ERS is a very, very powerful tool. So currently I'm very happy with just letting it stay on neutral and allowing my drivers to kind of manage that on their own. But I don't have to recharge it. So as of now, we have no need to actually use it. So I'm not going to go ahead and use it, basically. Going to take advantage of the fact that we have it and save it for when we get really stuck trying to overtake. I'm hoping Franco can score points. Well, he is pitting at the moment, the second I read that. At least Lando ain't 22 for now. Bottas is going to be last here for a while. Albon too, for that matter. Or is this going to be losing out when he pits, though? Let's be honest. That's still miles out. Thoughts on ERS assist? Honestly, personally, I like to keep it on because it's basically your drivers will recharge on their own. And the way that they recharge is generally through top up. So you don't lose too much pace. But it might be worth toggling this off if you're struggling to get past the car in front and want to take manual control of the ERS. Toggling this off, the ballast and using deploy, seems to be slightly quicker and slightly more efficient than keeping it on. But again, it's so much back and forth, there's no real evidence either way what is best or what is wrong. So both can kind of, like, if you want to manage it manually, no problem. If you want to be a little bit lazy like I am right now and keep it on, that's fine too. The general consensus seems to be that ERS ballast loses you a little bit of time. But that time, I'd have to say it's very minor, less than a tenth a lap. So for me, that's at least how it feels. So I have no problem keeping it on. And what the ERS ballast does is basically that it gives your driver control over the ERS usage. So a driver will save some energy to use for battling, to overtake or defend, and they'll also recharge. Like if they're running in clean air like you're doing right now, the AI driver will straight up recharge your battery back to full. So there is some benefits to doing this. But I also think we need to take one of the upgrades off, probably, that we put on the car for the next race weekend. But I just can't figure out why the difference in performance is this stark between the sprint and the race itself. It's kind of mad. Ferrari started throwing after I showed up, so apologies for that. I don't know if I agree with that, Floof. Ferrari, you weren't here for Japan, and Leclerc ate a wall. Do you, if it is reported that when there are... Huh? Do you, if it is reported that when there are cars starting from the pit lane, they are released quite too early? Almost at the same time the lights go out. I don't know the exact rule on the pit lane release, but isn't it when the last car passes the pit lane exit that they get released? I might be wrong, but I thought that was how that rule worked. I'm taking credit for Ferrari throwing.
And what's that?
Oh,
Pit stop issue.
we ate a pit stop issue. The floof curse has taken hold of me. Oh no. I think I'm fine. If that is all your curse has to do to me, Floof, a pit stop issue, I can live with that. Okay, currently we're actually in an extremely good position. Everyone will probably need to pit again. I don't think Rick can stretch his hards to the end, and if he does, that would be insane. Sargent is still in a good position. Gasly's gotten up to 8th. Gasly's running 5th somehow. That's not acceptable. That needs to fix. That needs to patch immediately. Magnus and Enhulk are both in the points. Paris 11th. Colan 14th. Ocon 16th. The bottom 4 here, not too surprising with damage and, you know, failures. Oh, Bottas is going actual terminal now.
And there, that certainly looks like a terminal failure. What a shame.
The hole in the rear wing, or what happened? I don't see any puffs of smokes or anything here. What is the visual indicator, commentator, that he's terminal at the moment? I need to get like the maximum preset thing too, because it's so annoying to see the blurring right now on the rear wing. It's like he's running around with disco lights on the back. He's definitely struggling. Yeah, Bottas should make it back to the pits, I would think, so that shouldn't result in a safety car. Leclerc would actually be... like, he would cook if this was safety car right now. He would be straight up in the podium contention. He still needs to pit, and once he pits, he's going to come out basically around Perez. But if he gets a safety car, that would be insane for him. Show has picked up a fault as he says fastest lap. That's an interesting combination of events. This actually is the other's fault. ERS issue. Okay, that might get resolved. Could be something simple as just restarting it. Any suggestion on best young drivers to take who are not taken for next year in real life? Good question. I don't know. I wonder if I can complain to Frontier about the floof curse. You need to gather a little bit more data evidence first. ERS isn't ERS when you are running, when deciding what Starbucks to order. BK is going to be confused when he returns with everyone going on about the floof curse. I think the floof curse has been a thing for a while now, to be fair. It's not like it just randomly popped up. It's something that has been going for the last few streams, for Alpine at least. Hey Thomas, yeah, cars are equal. I have put a couple of upgrades on my car that we might take off after this. I wanted to see how it affected the race. And so far, it has not been positive. But to be fair, up to this point, I've been shat on by everything, so I need this for my mental well-being. Just going to test how long a 57 lap race takes. If you do 22 seconds a lap, it's not going to take long. Which parts you design with safety and which without safety post the recent update? It's basically highly dependent on how good your parts are. Like, if you would generally want to focus on your suspension, your underfloor, your front and rear wing, I'd say. And if one of those are far ahead of the others, focus on the ones that are falling behind. And in that same vein, if your side pod, if your chassis is falling far behind, you could consider using safety and wind tunnel on those as well. But the best thing you can actually use safety and wind tunnel on is just to combat whatever the regulation changes is making you lose. So if you are losing cornering ability from regulation changes, use the CFD time to kind of try and alleviate that for the parts that are important for cornering. Your wings, your underfloor, to some degree, your chassis and side pod if it's the airflow rather than the downforce change. Again, the main thing here is that there's, again, so many different scenarios, and there's going to be different answers for each one of them. But generally, just try and do what you think is best, honestly. That is probably going to be the correct choice most of the time. Guys, what do you recommend me doing? I've already done RB and Williams. Do Alpine for floof, Charlie. Do Alpine for floof. Show him how it's done. Bring honor upon his lineage. He needs it. You're -5. Yeah, then you can kind of focus everything then counts. So you can still do a little bit extra cornering focus if you want to have a better car next year. But just don't overdo it because the AI is still kind of bad at research. So depending on what you want this game to be, if you want to absolutely dominate, go full on, just focus cornering. If you want to be a little bit more equal with the AI, balance it out a little bit more, do maybe one research on cornering and then equalize the rest of your researches for that part, things like that. Isn't really too much else to say with that, honestly. You should put all drivers on the same overall rating as well as equal cars. Funny you should say that, Thomas, because that is actually what's happening here. Every driver, every staff member, every engine, every car, everything is basically equal. So the main thing that is causing differences in performance is strategy and confidence/mentality. And I forgot to look into that before this stream. So well, I'll have to try and remember to do that before next stream. Don't need to worry about Lewis's cold tires. Here's the thing. We can take a look at this real quick. So Hamilton has cold tires. 90 degrees and they would no longer be underheated. And here's the thing. Verstappen also is currently running cold tires. Now, underheating is generally bad for tire performance. But here's the funny part. If we go into car condition, or rather not the car condition, if we go into actual timings here for the laps, you can see that for Hamilton, he has been steadily losing pace a little bit. He's running 38.2s now, pretty guaranteed. Before that, he was running some weird timings, a little bit DRS help here for sure. But he's been pretty steady in his timings, 38 to 38.2s now with the degradation. And even if the tires are a little bit cold, he is still running times that are pretty comparable to everyone else around him while saving his tires. So if that was not the case, if we were losing a lot of time to the cars around us because our tires were underheated, yes, then it would be a bad idea. Then we'd have to turn up to standard. But particularly when you're close to the threshold like this, it seems to affect it way less. So in our case here, we're actually fine running undercooled tires because it doesn't really affect us. But take a look at lap times, take a look at your rivals' lap times, and then make a decision. Because tire deck has an effect. Sorry. Tire degradation has an effect, and we are losing a little bit of lap time because we are running undercooled. But we're getting that lap time back because of the tire that we are saving. It's kind of a weird thing to say, but the deg that we are saving by running undercooled is enough that we're actually compensating the losses from running undercooled, if that makes sense. We're degrading slower, and that gives us more pace on the tires, and that pace actually outweighs what we're losing from running the tires a little bit colder than they should be. Now, slightly colder like this, 90 versus 88 for instance, is fine. But if you go 5 to 10 degrees lower, yeah, then you're really going to start to suffer a little bit more than maybe you'd like. Let's see here.
Can you check the temperature?
It's hot outside.
Edge of their window now, Max.
Let's see, I need to catch up and chat off that. Okay, could always get rid of Ocon. We also lost engineers an entire season due to a sponsor engagement. I unfortunately don't know a fix for that, Hamster. Seems to be a pretty common bug, so just make sure in the future you don't send engineers, scouts, anyone really on anything that lessens the amount of people you have. I'm doing cornering sliders, but with max weight. That is going to be probably kind of fun to cast, honestly. I would assume you're losing bad. Because you lose a lot of performance running maximum weight. Hello, engine cooling is very important. Yes, this year engine cooling is very important because of the addition of these things here, mechanical faults, as they slow you down massively and can even DNF your car, which is what happened to Bottas. But Particularly though, Powell, as long as you maximize your engine cooling in your side pod, you'll generally be fine. You don't need to maximize or invest in engine cooling in your chassis, side pod, maximize that slider, and you'll be good for most scenarios. Now, don't worry, Thomas. Don't apologize. It's a question that comes up pretty often from several people, so I just inform. What's the Floof curse? Well, it has to do with Floof and Alpine. Let's be honest. What's the championship looking like? We can take a look after the race, I think. Do I have live standings? I do have live standings. So this is the fun part, and also the kind of curse part with the equal performance save. So Ferrari, remember, this is the 5th race of the season. Leclerc won the first 3 races. In equal machinery, against equal drivers, he somehow pulled a 3 out of 3 out of the hat, including an 11-2 first at Australia. He also has 2 pole positions. So Leclerc, definitely an outlier in this equal performance thing. I've also gone ahead and changed their aggression to the same. That shouldn't play a part. So there is some interesting things happening here. And as you can see, we've gotten our ass kicked. Currently, we're about to get some points here. But in the constructors right now, before this, we're currently in 5th. So if we manage this, we're going to jump up. But honestly, we're probably going to fall down again once we do a couple more races, because this is more of an outlier. But yeah, driver championship, Bottas has done well. Albon has done well. Rick has done well. Gasly's doing okay, I guess. And on the flip side, Perez has done terribly. Colapinto is unfortunately not the greatest here. Sainz has been the opposite of Leclerc completely, 4 points. Mercedes has not been done well. Sargent is doing okay. So yeah, it's been a little bit of an... You can actually kind of see the randomness here in the sense that, with the exception of us, no other team has 2 of their drivers in top 10. It's all different teams here. It definitely has played a little bit of a part. Every team is scoring points, but Red Bull has somehow become completely destroyed from us kidnapping Verstappen. And honestly, the same goes for Mercedes. And again, the replacements are exactly the same stat-wise. But I think what is actually hitting Mercedes and Red Bull here could straight up be the fact that the affinity is a problem. And what I mean by this is the affinity between driver and race engineer, as that has a huge effect on confidence gains and losses. And that might be why one of, each of these teams' drivers are currently kind of not doing too well. That makes sense. But yeah, standings are definitely kind of what you'd expect from a random performance save, I'd say. Hey Nero, I bought the game through Moga and got the premium edition for the price of no one on Steam. That's clever. Been thought would be a huge upgrade for Alpine. I have faith they can pull McLaren upgrades for next season. Pick a number between 1 and 10. 3. I think the start, who wins the first race, it gets a mentality boost from that. They will do well next races too. It could be, but honestly, the thing here is, even though if you get a mentality boost, it shouldn't... If the mentality boost you get from winning a few races is that insane, then it's just a little bit too strong still, and for my liking. And that's also kind of one of the reasons why I did this, to kind of see how mentality and confidence act upon. That's why we've set every driver at 80 overall, so that we could actually see some effects from confidence and mentality. Now, do I like confidence and mentality in the current form? No. They create way too much variance. They punish lower teams disproportionately to the higher end teams, and it's not a good thing. Is it Cola?
Yellow.
Yep.
Who spun? It's Sargent, actually. That's unfortunate for our boy in the Williams. Both Williams drivers now involved in incidents. Rick looking at a podium. Hulk still in contention. could get fun. I wonder how this would turn out in F1 Manage 23. Honestly, I've been kind of tempted to try and dig through the file and disable confidence and mentality to see how this will work out. But I haven't gotten that far yet. It's one of those fun ideas that I'm kind of considering trying at one point. Oh. Ferrari, RB, and Alpine. Are you planning something scary? Should put all the drivers at 60 overall. I think we'd see more. The thing is, I also didn't want to. 80 is picked for two reasons. Again, mentality, confidence would have a bit of an effect, but also control, every stat like that would still be at a level where we wouldn't be seeing a lot of incidents, put it that way. The drivers should still be somewhat stable, if you will. I think currently, though, we can speed things along a little bit. We are going to need to probably conserve a little bit in the last few laps here. Claire's actually in a very good position right now. He can go to the end on these. Rick is pitting. That's going to slow him down. Yellow flag. It's Cola this time.
Okay, so heading into turn 1 here.
Yes, my tires are stone cold, but we're not really losing enough pace that it matters to me tonight. Is the thing. Like the pace loss from running our tires too cold is acceptable at the moment. Because even with fairly burnt out tires, they were still fairly quick. But it is time to put Hamilton on a fresh set of tires, and we could potentially run these standard to compensate for that loss of tire. For Verstappen now, I think we just go attack, catch up a little bit to Hamilton. I don't want to have Magnussen and, more importantly, Leclerc get into this mix, because Leclerc is just dangerous. I'm going for 10 minutes, and now Albon is 7 weeks behind everyone. Yeah. Albon had a incident, I guess we could say. And not only him, Sargent had one too, so yeah. You supported Williams, Floof went in and just said, nah. I don't want that. Just put you in the bin. What would be a better say based off the numbers I asked for? Ferrari just generally sort them out. RB health Danny Rick see Red Bull. Alpine do it for Floof. For some reason, sorting Ferrari out just sounds fun in a weird way. Like, I've had enough of these guys. I'm gonna go and fix them myself. I'm taking over the strategy department. Help Danny Rick get a seat is a pretty common one, to be fair, but it's also a fun one. Saving Alpine for Floof, though, that's probably the the hardest challenge you have out of the three. Because you still have to contend with Floof's curse, you know. And that thing is ruthless. Someone who enjoys watching races as much as possible. I wish we could see some kind of physical degradation of tires. It would be neat. I think there is a like the way that they did things this year. I don't know if we can zoom in enough to really see it, but they did add kind of tire marbling outside of the racing line. Can't really see it though, which is a bit of an issue. But I don't know if the graphics mod actually fixes that issue. But I'll try and get that installed for next stream. Maybe see how the game looks different. Stroll with a mechanical fault.
But there! Oh dear, that's not what they need right now.
Just like cast at the top. Albon and Sainz shall cook. I think Williams does have a pretty strong lineup in Albon and Sainz, honestly. If they can sort the car out, make it a little bit more competitive, then things could be very, very fun. I didn't tell you Colapinto got points because you'd get too happy, and then the curse would hit you 3 times as hard. See? Second you figure that out, Gasly's in 10th. Second you figure that out, Gasly's now in danger. Okay, now maybe I was wrong. Maybe Gasly's gonna go for a flyer here. To be fair, I need to get Verstappen into the pit before he punctures. That would make me sad. Williams aren't going to develop next year. They're all in for 26. You watch any other YouTubers F1 Manager series like Jan Opmer? I've been tuning into people's streams lately. Yesterday I tuned into Wolves here, who's also streaming F1 Manager. In the chat, he's doing his own version of Williams, I think. And honestly, he's pretty entertaining, so you might want to stop by and see what he's doing. But generally, I don't stop by too many. It's just been a few different streamers the last few days that I find entertaining. Trying to get happy about I'm trying to not get happy about the Astra P7 in case he suffers the same fate. I swear, like, Floof doesn't actually have hands. He has, like, the monkey paw. Like, his hands are actually monkey paws, and every time they just curl whenever someone says they like a team. You can't stop it. Yeah, I did get Verstappen in the pit. We're good about that. We got him a lap too late. I won't deny that, but he has been in the pit now. We should be fine running standard here to the end. We do need to conserve a bit of fuel, though. And generally, as a rule of thumb, you can conserve about 0.3 kilograms a lap. So, we are going to do it now just to be on the safe side. The fact that Leclerc is with us, though, is not a good thing. Okay. I need to use Verstappen to use a little bit of that energy you saved up to get away from the threat. I don't want Leclerc near us. He's already crashed out once this stream. He can crash out again, and he could take us with him. And then we get a Piastri podium, somehow. Because Magnussen needs to pit. And he has selected to not to, so... some weird stuff is going on here. Are both the Hasbros going to go for a puncture? Is that what's happening right now? Gasly improves to 7th. Are we going to see Haas puncture class? It's 11 laps. There's no way these tires survive till the end. How's Alpine in the save? In his save, Janos or Wolves? I only like to watch Yano. Others are good at race management, but out of straight up bad at that makes me angry. By me? To be fair though, I've been bottling things the last couple of streams, so you should be pissed at me too. I would assume Sogasin is either like the second Soga actually crashes, he's gonna need a new driver. Like with a 22-second lap time. How rare I want to use with your equal save? I think this is the first one we're gonna get for any team, really. And this one isn't really an equal one because I put on a couple new components because I expected the AI to upgrade at this point, but they haven't. So we're probably gonna take those pieces off again. Alpine attention to constructors. I love that Floof just gets more and more like sad. Like anytime there's an F1 manager coming by, just How did Alpine do? Oh, they're last. Oh, they're 10th. The car's fine, I only had to replace every part. That's the definition of not fine, though. Like, if you have to replace the entire car, that's not fine. That's the entire car being damaged. Let's be fair, that's how that works. Piastri is still running 5th. Gasly should get 6th here at the very least. He might even get Piastri. But we could also get a safety car if they puncture and cause mayhem. Tsunoda could still get an impending failure. It could still get really, really weird here. Wait, did Hulk pit? No, he's just falling backwards. He's like letting Ocon get back into this. Are we going to see Ocon points? Double Alpine points here? For Floof? What do we think, Chad? Is Floof going to get his dreams fulfilled with double Alpine points? Why is Blood not boxing? Because the AI makes weird choices sometimes. And honestly, let me be perfectly honest there. The AI making mistakes isn't necessarily a bad thing. Like, at this point, yes, the player would know that you should pit by this point. And honestly, when you've fallen out of the points and you have no chance of getting back, yes, you should be pitting. And that's actually kind of what they did here. Hulkenberg tried something, didn't work out, pits to kind of try and correct that. But at this point, they should understand that this is not going to work out for Magnussen either. And again, I'm a big fan of AI being able to make mistakes in games, because that makes it a lot more fun for the player, because then you can take advantage of those mistakes, you can get a gotcha moment, and it creates a little bit more variance in how the game plays. If the AI is perfect, makes the right decision every time, that's just as bad as them, you know, making a few really, really bad mistakes here and there. So I do kind of appreciate the AI not being flawless, honestly. But again, yes, probably should consider pitting when you're running 4 seconds quicker. Sorry, 4 seconds slower than the next fastest car, or in this case, 3 seconds to Paris. But you get the idea. You get what I mean here. Pulling an Ocon DNF, spirits lifted. Chat, I need team names. Dead last. The deadbeats. I just realized that my drives are max stats. They're not at max stats, they're all 80. So they're all 80 overall rated. 80 in every stat, electric. Just sent the broken car into Discord for all to watch. Sorry, Walls, I don't have any fancy commands like you do. I'm an amateur compared to you. You can find the Discord link in the description. There's 2 there, one for the official F1 Manager Discord and one for mine. Usually I have a very, very kind guy here to help me out with things like that. But he's out drinking beer and watching football at the moment. Floof Racing? Why is everyone just frying Floof here? She's gonna be dead last. Floof Racing. Again, Floof, if it becomes too much, let me know and I'll time out some of these cars for you. McDonald's car? What, did the Discord picture look like a McDonald's car? What have you showcased here? Where did you even post it? McDonald's mobile. Okay. I'll have to take a look at that clip later. Can be Floof Racing. Floof McDonald's Racing. Well, I think we are nearing the end here of this one. And with that, unfortunately, the end of the stream. as it stands. Gasly is currently running 6th. He could potentially get Piastri. It's going to require a lot of pushing, though. And where's Ocon Pip got himself? He's currently running 9th. He's in the points. He's hunting down Alonso. Rick has also kind of surprised me with how he has performed in the RB. And if we check the standings now, I think he's also pretty far up there. Yeah, Danny Rick is currently 5th if he finishes where he is right now. So, yeah, you can kind of get an idea here of just how the dominance that Leclerc's had. And also Albon and Bottas up to this point, to be fair. They're not scoring any points this race, and they're still 2nd and 3rd. No timeouts needed currently. This to see which team improves better. It's honestly just because I thought this would be more fun to have every team equal and focus a little bit more on the racing aspect of it, of the game. But even with every team equal, we still see some pretty wide spreads here, mainly due to, well, in Albon, Stroll, Tsunoda's case, incidents and faults. I don't know if we can say the same here for Magnussen, Colapinto. That's just bad management decisions for the most part. And to be fair, we're kind of an outlier in this race. Generally, 20 seconds. To be fair, but Leclerc did that in the first 3 races, basically. But still, generally 20 seconds is what we usually see. And Gasly is still not giving up. Neither has Ocon. It's caught up to Paris. Could we get a 5th and 7th place for Floof here? Gasly gets his overtake done. Ocon is falling a little bit further behind, though. No dangers of punctures at the moment, as far as I can see. No, Ocon is falling behind. Can't catch the Red Bull. Still waiting for someone to make a Racing Point RP20 livery. If you kind of go with Floof Racing, you're going to be forced to sign Colapinto. Piastri versus Gasly. Who's our money on, Chad? Final lap. Gasly has the tire advantage. Piastri has no advantage, I would think. Check if he has energy advantage. He has 2 gigajoules. Slight energy advantage there for Piastri, but he is losing. He's losing pace. I think this is probably going to go in Gasly's favor. He was 2.5 seconds quicker that last lap. And I probably should have gone for the fastest lap here, to be fair. But honestly, right now, it's more fun to look at the Gasly fight. Equally bad drivers at the lowest rating. Well, I did try and do a race with 0 rated control drivers, and they just did not crash. So, probably would have to be 20 rated in that case.
Also here, the whole team, but also back at the factory. Great job.
Okay, we got the win. But Gasly's going to get 5th. Ocon could lose 8th place here to Sainz. Potentially. There is a DRS zone before the end. And if Alonso actually got in there too, that would be diabolical. That is a tad unfortunate for Ocon. Question is Alonso going to get him in the final corner? I would say no. Gasly secures 5th, Piastri gets 6th, so a little bit of a healing moment here. For those who hit by the curse, Ocon ends 9th. Sainz ends 8th. One of his better performances. Leclerc still finished 4th, so he's still in this. Sargent unfortunately ends up 11th, just outside the points. Albon 15th after his incident. Alpine double points though, it's not bad. I will admit.
We see Mick Schumacher now after a challenging race.
Actually, Lewis Hamilton hyper messages now. Lufkus didn't work on you? Never mind. Don't worry, next time we'll supercharge it. But yeah, I think next time also we'll tune off take it back off the pieces until the AI properly develops and upgrade themselves. Probably got the upgrades before the AI did, and that has given them a little bit of an advantage. Sorry, given us a huge advantage, not them, us. I'll be honest. But yeah, maybe I'll also sit down, make some make some changes to our livery, potentially. Switch the colors up a bit. Maybe make a rainbow livery with total energies. Would be fun. Do I do 2 races per stream? I do as many as I have energy for, Thomas. Sometimes it's 2 races, sometimes it's 6 races. Depends also. These races in particular, I'm playing a lot slower. I've had streams where I've simmed an entire season. It varies quite a lot from stream to stream, Thomas, to be fair. So I don't have any like firm set times when I stream or anything like that. I just announce on Discord, go live, and then I stream for as long as I want, basically. In this case, though, I'm going to have to call it here because I am going to go eat a painkiller and go to bed. So thank you, everyone, for stopping by. I appreciate it. It's nice to have you all here. And we'll see if the Floof curse goes strong next time, too. But yeah, I'll be announcing next stream on my Discord, most likely in a couple of days. I don't think we're getting Alpine today, Floof. I think next part of Alpine is going to come out tomorrow, and I'm taking a bit of a break today. The game crashed after my drivers jumped the start. For real? You've upgraded your car now, so it actually travels forwards in time. Alpine took a while to get going, but now we're starting to go forwards. Yeah. I appreciate that, Thomas. Hope to see you next time. I will have a good rest. Thank you, everyone, for showing up. I appreciate that. Take it easy as well. Walls, are you going to be streaming now? Should I send everyone over to you? Again, if you want more F1 Manager content, I don't know if Walls is streaming or not, but you can find him on Twitch. He might be streaming later, for those of you who want some more. And he is very entertaining. So go and drop by his Twitch if you have the opportunity. But I'm gonna go now. Thank you very much for stopping by. Again, appreciate you all. See you next time. Bye bye.